JC running that RX Cartel machine. They're going to want to make sure they've got one car in the mix come the end of the weekend because he's right up there in terms of series standings.
Connor Martell has racecraft. You can see the attitude of the vehicle, what's going on. Also, somebody that's not in a car, but here in the paddock, Scott Speed.
Yeah.
Travis Pastrana has tapped Scott Speed and says, look, it's the tenths of tenths that we're trying to scrutinize here. And that's where Travis says, hey man, I'm going to tap your shoulder real quick. Come along. Show me some things. So with Vermont Sports Car, Connor Martell and Travis Pastrana, they said, hey Scott, you're really fast on the asphalt. You know that racecraft. Let's get some knowledge. And I think, you know, Connor and Travis are utilizing that information.
He's the secret weapon. He was the secret weapon last year. You know, it's that thing, as you say, of sharing. What Travis said to me yesterday is him and Connor, they drive the same way. They're both sendy, you know, and that's good. In fact, Connor was quicker by 2/10 up at the hairpin. You've just seen him through, and coming through the last 3 corners, Travis was 3/10 quicker. So that's the right hand after the big jump and the 2 left-handers where we saw him have that brilliant battle with Hansen last year. Put those together, if Martell and Pastrana can both do the same lap, they'll be considerably ahead of everybody else, but they're not going to make it easy.
I love that big hit on that backside. We are on the final lap. The white flag is out. Connor Martell has been leading the pack. Robin Larson, not too far behind, but just not enough track for him to catch him. So there's the checkered flag. And there we have it. Connor Martell. So it's VSC, Vermont Sports Car, getting both the victories in these Group E battle seating. Right on
board with Jensen Button. Yeah, running the number 22. Down he comes to the last corner. Look at the amount of steering inputs he's making. He was a master in the wet in Formula 1, and I am absolutely certain he'll master these conditions in the dirt as well. Button finishes his first ever rallycross race. A Formula 1 world champion coming here and hanging it out for the fans. He lives over here in the States, of course. The next race at Glen Helen is your home race and his home race, which is super cool as well.
So cool.
Brilliant job.
Congratulations. Connor Martell gets the win. Beautiful day out here at ERX. Connor Martell gets the victory. You can see a whole 2 seconds ahead of Robin Larson. Jensen Button, as you said, making history. F1 champion, and then rounding out the crew is Ollie Bennett there in 4th.
America team at Vermont Sports Cars is hoping that their 1-2 in the championship points is a little bit like American luck. But in talking with Connor Martell, he said they know what they're up against. It's going to be a big battle. I mean, I'm no weather person at all, but it's definitely raining out here. I don't have a raincoat, by the way. It's damp, and Connor was telling me that this rain and this damp condition really makes the track extremely inconsistent. He said it's slippery in some areas because it's loose, blue groove in others, which makes it then also very slippery. And he says it's one of those things that you get in the car and you don't really know what to expect. Meanwhile, here in the Excite camp, Oliver Bennett in qualifying was dealing with a tire puncture. He said that's what he feels like he's going to be dealing with all day, is just trying to keep these tires underneath him. Meanwhile, on the other hand, we have Jensen Button over here, who first time out in these cars, right? He's gotten some laps in. He said he's gotten about 18, 19 laps in yesterday, but the guy is just still trying to get comfortable in the air. He's trying to get comfortable in the corners. Imagine where he comes from with Formula 1 and how different these cars are on track. But he said it's a whole lot of fun, but again, it goes back to that idea of inconsistency because they just don't really know what to expect when they're getting in the car. And talking a little bit further with Jensen, he said that this has been an exciting experience for him, the team all together. He's running 5 rounds and we expect to see him in a whole lot more. I thought it was interesting because, of course, he doesn't come from a drifting background. He comes from Formula 1. And of course, in these corners, and in a track like this, it's one of those times where realistically, it's got to be tough for him. Meanwhile, Oliver Bennett, going back to him, he talked a little bit about the fact that we're launching a new Excite can here in the States. So though Vermont Sports Car is Americana, feel like they are representing America here as well in the States with the new Excite can that they're going to be launching. We'll be getting battle brackets out here very soon.
Wow, it's looking wet out there. That's the news flash this time.
Not as bad as we've seen previously. It's just a bit of a spit. You know, the Minnesotan fans, they know. And guess what? The cars, they're just going to get a little looser. So it's okay, you know.
I was thinking back to last year. It was a little loose series. That's
a lot loose last year.
That's a very generous description, Jared.
Yeah, but I mean, we kind of knew it was threatening, but it's just going to, it's a very aggressive talker is what you're kind of seeing. You know, when you talk really, that's what it feels feels like. Somebody spitting in your face. So it's basically dusting a little bit, but the track's been prepped, smoothed out, it's groomed.
Yeah, they're doing it now. It looks great. It
Yeah.
looks super smooth. We've got side-by-sides coming up next, which is something you guys haven't seen so far this season. Jared, side-by-sides,
You love these things.
they're amazing, but they're growing in popularity in Europe, but they've been big over here for a long time.
Yeah. I mean, the side-by-side culture, there's many different manufacturers. This is an all Can-Am, which is really cool. But look at the star-studded cast. On the front row, Travis Pastrana and Brian Deegan, two-wheel legends, obviously. You know them, you love them. In that second row, Robin Shute, three-time Pikes Peak International Hill Climb winner. Then you got Gregory Michaud, which a Canadian, he's flying the Canadian flag. Ben Mayer, FYI, 13 years old,
Yeah, I
man.
saw him this morning.
Right?
He's tiny, and he sends it.
He wheels it, dude. Next to him, Terry Madden. Now, Terry Madden's used to Ultra 4 racing, Can-Am racing. Also in that back row, Robbie Madison and Leticia Bufoni. We weren't going to see Robbie Madison. And Leticia Bufoni, she's a master of the four wheels, but urethane, much smaller. Skateboarding legend, multiple X Games medals, 2015 SLS champion. I mean, the accreditation that's on this grid right now is bonkers. I mean,
Oh, dude, it's an incredible lineup. Travis, if you remember, did this a bit of a heads up from last year. Travis did this, but unfortunately ended up in the wall, hurt his shoulder, and he was double running supercar for Subaru Motorsport USA at the time. Deegan, who's on the front row with him, had an epic fight with Tanner Faust. Faust came out on top, certainly in one of the races that weekend. So Deegan, we know, can wheel these things, and we were watching this morning away from the line, and it was, oh, wow. Great start from row 2. That's it's Robin Shute, I think, trying to come up around the outside.
Shute. He's part of that Send It Club, and he's living up to it. All right, looks like, I believe Deegan's out front, and there's that range, just to let you know. Look at that, sitting in second. That's Travis Pastrana sitting in second right now.
Oh,
and there we go. There's the looseness.
Really slick.
The juice is loose right now on these Can-Ams. They're running on Yokohama tires, and that's what I really love about it. Compared to last year, this year, it's all about spec. So you got the same tires, the same machine, but obviously the variable, the drivers.
Oh, end over end in the background.
Boy.
Absolutely huge crash. Just went up on the nose and in. I think it's Robin Shute. He's gone over number. It's Shute. So Shute is upside down in the dirt, down at the back side of the track. Just the rear end of the car came up. He wheeled down the front. Red flag.
Red flag. Wow, Robin Shute just got really aggressive there, and that's the attitude of the vehicle. These things will buck. They get a little nose heavy. So let's make sure Robin's okay. That was a big spin, end over end. So Robin Shute, as we were talking about his accolades, three-time Pikes Peak hill climb, and I had some words with Deegan. He was putting the tear off. Is he out? They're cheering for him.
Yeah, they are.
Let's get some eyes on him. Full course red flag, and he is moving around. There he is. He's out. There it is. Robin. Ooh.
He was having such a good time too, Jared. It's worth us pointing out. He did a dirt hill climb, didn't he, last weekend? I think, or the weekend before. As you said, Pikes Peak, 3 times winner. You announced that this year.
Sir.
Absolute legend on the tar. He's not done much on the dirt before, and yet he was fastest in one of the practice sessions on Thursday. So he was really excited about that. I know he's got an eye on moving up to an FC1X at some point. Yeah, I'd like to see that. You know, legendary Pikes Peak British winner. I know this is America.
I know.
Here you go. Look.
Yeah, you saw that back end just buck up and just spin. Look at the radiator goes flying. Wow, a sensational crash, and it's only more sensational because he's okay. But you see the arms. I'd love to back it up and just see.
Yeah, that's a wild crash. That's really strange. You know what I mean? He's almost wheeling down on the front wheels, then goes in. I wonder if...
Wow. So it looks like they're going to re-rack him and get a fresh restart, but obviously -1 vehicle of Robin Shute. Well, that was big. I mean,
it's a dramatic day.
It is a dramatic day, and we keep talking about it. You know, attrition, keeping your equipment together, keeping your tires on the wheels. You know, don't debead. The start, the asphalt, the rain. That rain had nothing to do with that flip.
Travis there coming up. So off the start, we were on a rear shot off the start. You saw it. It was somebody from row 2. There's Travis.
He's covering just his visor.
Yeah, he's mopping the top. I noticed Deegan as well had a rag hidden away in the car. They've got tear-offs in there, but you don't want to use those. So anytime you can use a rag to wipe it off, that means you've got another tear-off spare. It was lap 1. Obviously, if you're out front, you're golden anyway. But the further back in the pack you are, it's just another thing to try and manage. I think, was it Robin who got the great start from row 2?
Robin did. Yeah, he went around the outside, but unfortunately he went up and over. So the 27 there, Michal. And as we are getting ready to restart here. Let's throw it down to Katie Osborne. Katie.
Jensen Button, as you guys know, a world champ in Formula One, out here driving along with us. And I was just talking at the top of the show just how different this was and how inconsistency might be a word that you might feel behind the wheel.
I don't think inconsistency. I think just lack of pace. But no, I've driven the FC1. I drove it in France, in Bordeaux, but it was mostly tarmac and a little bit of dirt. And because it was so slippery, you had to be really neat and tidy on the dirt. So I was actually quite quick. And then I drove it at Goodwood, which is all tarmac. And then you come here and you've got to be 90 degrees, or if not a bigger angle when you enter every corner, and it's just blows my mind. I mean, I pull the handbrake, I'm like, I have no idea where I'm going to end up. Am I going to be 8 feet inside the apex or 8 feet outside? So that's my biggest issue. I have no understanding of setting the car up for a corner. So that's my biggest issue. The jumps, great, loving the jumps. They're so much fun, and that's the bit I thought I'd be proper scared of. And it's just amazing. The car flows so well. Once you get the balance of throttling over the jump and then balancing it in the air. Again, I knew nothing about that. So when I first started this weekend, I was coming off the jumps and lifting, and then the front would dive. Well, I don't get it. I don't know what I'm doing. And then they're like, oh, okay, we thought you knew this. Like, no, I know nothing. So I've did 20 laps yesterday, and so far out my depths at the moment. But, you know, I have a lot more respect for these guys, and where they're finding the time is just, it's amazing. So it's all a learning curve. But it's always difficult when you've been good in a certain discipline to then struggle and have to learn it all again. It's frustrating because you're like, I know how to drive a car, but just not on dirt. So it's going to take me some time, and it's just making sure I don't get frustrated with my lack of speed, and work with the guys who have a lot of experience, and they're doing a great job on developing.
All right, well, thank you. Yeah, a bit of a humility, ego, dropping that all when you get behind the wheel of a rallycross car.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I didn't have it anyway coming into this because it's so different, but yeah, I mean, so much respect for the guys out there that can send it everywhere.
Send it.
I love his attitude. It's really good. And again, I know you just love him because he's British.
He's
and he's
super cool.
He is really cool.
I think that's the thing. I've had the great pleasure of working with a lot of top drivers, as you have, Jared. And some of them are just really cool guys.
And some are just cocky as all get out. He's not going to name names.
No,
but
we're not going to name names. I'm joking. but he's super. He's an F1 world champion.
Yeah.
We're not talking former F1 driver. He's an F1 world champion, and he's come here. He's putting it out there. He knows he's going to get his butt kicked for a little while, and he seems okay about it because he likes it. And I like the fact he's saying, I don't want to get frustrated, I just want to work through it. He has got some great people down there. Graham Rodermark is working with him as Kevin Hansen's long-time spotter and engineer, and they'll get around it. And Jensen will be quick in the end.
Yeah, I think so. But again, this track is proving to be the obstacle. It's not man versus machine versus the other man versus machine. It's the track, the beast. This thing, you know, I was talking with Ben Mayer's mom, you know, again, the 13-year-old, and I said, I would rather them be at this track versus Glen Helen in Arizona. Those are a little bit like more bucky. This is flowy, but it's proving to be very difficult because of how it transforms. What do you make of it out of our three American? You know, I say the lower 48.
The characteristics of the three tracks over here are really different. So Phoenix is very gladiatorial. It's an arena. There's a lot of tight corners which are all packed right in front of you here. This is spread out a bit more and heads around right off behind us. But the elevation change here is the big thing. And I know we keep saying it, but it doesn't matter what shots we show. We're going to show you some now.
Yep.
Okay, maybe this does give you a good idea. When you look down beyond the Yokohama branding, down into the dip there.
This is the Joker lap. This is up here.
Look where the grid is in the background, and that gives you an idea. Look at the size of the tabletop just in front of the grid, and you start to get an idea of the scale it's placed. And what's brilliant is when you talk to the drivers, there is no break. Every single, you come to a crest, there's a corner after it. You come to a dip, there's something beyond it. There you go. That's the big jump.
That's the big jump on the far side.
Yeah. And so it's really three-dimensional, Jared. You can't see through most of these crests. We went around in a rental car slowly, and sadly, and it just everything's blind. So it really is three-dimensional. It was interesting that what Jensen had said. Actually, he was I struggled with the jumps at first, and then once he got the jumps down, he's like, I'm struggling with the corners. He's like, that's the bit I'm supposed to know. That's exactly what he was saying, and it's just that it's always going on. Yeah,
an absolutely amazing track here. We're getting reset for our side-by-side restart minus Robin Shute, and make sure he's okay. We are here at ERX for Nitro Rallycross. Jared Deanda, I don't even know my own name, and Andrew Coley. We're having some fun here. Nitro Rallycross is brought to you by A-Shock Energy, a modern performance energy drink created for today's active generation. And Guaranteed Rate, now more than ever, you need the best. And Yokohama Tire, make every drive a performance. All right, so as we are getting reset here, seeing Robin Shute just being pulled off there where he did flip. So just there he is. Oof, man.
So front right corner is off that.
Yeah, the wheel's definitely not supposed to go in that direction. So Robin Shute there, the Sendy Club, Racing Direct, our response safety crew here. Take a look at it again. This is where it went south. So you can see him, watch him go the fifth car back. It just bucked up, did a nose wheelie, and it grabbed and it threw him.
It's like it's reached the end of its travel. So as it's gone up, Jared, you saw the rear kick up, and then he didn't butter the landing, did he? So the nose has come down just before the crest that leads to the down ramp, and I think the front suspension has reached the limit of its travel, and then the rear's just come over the top. Like, look, you said about the radiator, you can see the hoses hanging off the back. There's the rad lying on the floor, front suspension arms crumpled up. Look under the front there, and you can see. So they had to roll that over and then drag it onto the back of a flatbed. And that's why it's taken a little bit longer than normal to clear the track. But they've done a great job out there. It's very grateful to the safety crews and the marshals and things.
Yeah, they travel with us all across the globe. So they're a very, very thorough crew. Thank you to them.
The white tyres, here's a good story for you this morning. Kevin Eriksson went out, you know, Kevin's only just back, and he said, I just got a little bit tight in the corner. He said, I tapped the white tyre on the inside. He goes, let me tell you, they don't move. So he ripped the whole front corner off the car, the front left corner off his FC1, and didn't get any laps at all. So he ended up down towards, well, at the very back of the pack, thanks to that. But yeah, he was quite surprised. You know, you see at motorsport, we see tyre stacks, don't we, at most sports. You give them a tap and they move out the way. He thought that would move, but no, it turns out tractor tyres don't move.
No, those are big, beefy, I mean, it's practically hitting concrete. All right, pulling Robin Shute off course. We will get reset. We'll get him regridded. Our remaining 7 vehicles for side-by-side. And there they are, and you can see just the evidence of the rain, maybe not on the actual lens of the camera, but you see on the start, the only paved portion of the part of the track is out front.
You know what, Jared? I reckon there would be more grip if you're starting on the dirt. So if you're starting on the dirt, you've got something for your Yokohamas to dig into. When you're on the tarmac like this and it's wet, you're going to get a lot of wheel spin. These cars, obviously, they're quite hard to get started. You're not using a clutch in quite the same way. So expect some wheel spin. Maybe someone will nail a perfect start.
There we are in that front row, re-rack them, minus Robin Shute on that second row, but Deegan and Pastrana out front. Michal in second. Then we got Ben Mayer, the 13-year-old. Terry Madden, who's used to Ultra 4 racing. He's you know, he'll come into something like this, but this is his first short course race. He's kind of nervous. He's got the black rifle on the door. He wants to fly that flag, and he's been driving a Can-Am for some time. Let's get ready to send it, as the sign says. And on that back row, Robbie Madison, Matto, and Leticia Bufoni, the only female here in competition. Very cool. Leticia Bufoni from Brazil. But if you don't know the name, go and look her up. You can see her right there. She owns a skateboard company called Monarch. Well-traveled, really cool. Been nervous as well. First time she's ever competed in wheels. But here we go. Let's send it. All right, out of the gate there, Deegan and Pastrana with Michal there in third.
Yeah, comes on in. Trying to make the pass, isn't he, on the inside? Travis holding on. Travis aware, of course, that up at turn 2, it's a left-hander. So as long as he holds that inside line, now it's about how brave do you want to be. First time on the brakes, checking up and seeing what the grip levels are like. Travis has got it dead right. Gets up the inside, can't quite pass Deegan. He just holds on. Now they take the split lane. Deegan's gone one way with Mashord, and Travis has gone the inside way.
Well done there by Deegan. Having some words with Deegan before this. He said, who do you want to be? Travis, of course. He always wants to be Travis, because Travis gets a lot of seat time. You know, Brian, he's very busy, but cheering on his kids, either Haley or Danger Boy. But here we go. So it looks like Deegan still gets that clean air. And now you got to think, the spotters that are in their head, they do have spotters. They're saying, hey, take it easy. We just saw what Robin did. You saw that back end get wild.
Mashord has gone into the Joker lap, so you can see there, and also Madden's gone in as well. So left-hand side of your screen where it indicates there in blue with a little diamond, that tells you the driver's taken the Joker. Remember, one Joker for every driver and everyone. Drone shots Rallycross, Jared. This gives you an idea of how big this roller coaster is. Into the right, look at the size of the crest in the background now. Crowds up there looking down, and have a look now on the downside of this. There's then another jump just before the braking zone, and in these wet conditions, that's going to push you really deep. Travis takes a super wide line, looking for a better exit.
That might be the right line.
Yeah.
You know, going high and dropping in as opposed to getting the car sideways. Also, you have a susceptibility of maybe debeating a tire as well.
Yeah, that's also a technique. Don't forget that they've used a lot in circuit racing. Sometimes you get off the line because when a rubbered-in track on tarmac gets wet, you're sometimes looking for alternate lines. So we can expect our friend, the go-karter, to also be looking for those.
You know, look at, I don't know if you saw it when Travis went over the jumps. He's not really trying to get air between him and his vehicle. He's actually just rolling it properly. But there's Travis's line. Well done. And it looks like the Joker.
Meyer's gone in with him, so they're trying to cover off Michaud, who was in P3 and went Joker. Have they done it or not? In the background, you're seeing Deegan, but it's the merge in the background that we want to see. Pastrana's made it through in P2. Who's in P3? I think it's Michaud is in there as well. So Meyer drops down to 5th, Madden into 4th.
Now, keep in mind, 6 seconds separate Deegan and Pastrana. What's at stake here? This is semifinal 1. What's at stake?
So they've actually decided, the side-by-side guys, they wanted some carnage racing. They're like, you know what, we're not going to go into 2 4-car races. We're just going to go 8 cars altogether. So they do a heat race, they do a semi-final. 2 of these drivers now will go straight through to the front row. At the minute, that's looking like being Brian Deegan and Travis Pastrana. Now, remember, Deegan's still got a Joker, so he might drop back. We don't really know what the delta is, and that's the difference between the standard lap and the Joker lap. Here comes Deegan now, sweeping through that right-hander. Not going to go Joker, so he's going to wait and go right on the very last lap. That's classic rallycross technique. If you're leading, just stay out of traffic, nail your fast laps, and get it done.
Deegan's, he is very tidy. He looks really clean. There's the white flag, the mercy flag, as I like to call it. It's 7 seconds. So Deegan now separates himself from Pastrana about 7 seconds apart. 6.5 right now.
Yeah, he's doing a brilliant job, isn't he? In the background, it's pretty close. Pastrana's coming under some pressure from Michaud. And predictor is saying 6.1. So at the minute, it's saying that Deegan will remain in first, bottom of your screen, but not by much, 0.4 of a second. Any slide wide, and he's going to be in trouble. That's what I mean. Michaud, look in the background. Michaud and Pastrana. This is a great fight, and that's helping Deegan out because Travis is having to drive on his mirrors and defend.
Yeah, I mean, you just want to get those top 2 spots to advance yourself into the final. Travis trying to get down, but just cannot catch Deegan. But so okay, the predictor's saying that he might lose first. So Travis is gaining some ground. He's closing that gap with 6.5. Now he's at 5.5.
So that would have been 6 tenths. Now it's up 5 tenths. So they reckon Deegan's lost more than a second on this lap. Pastrana on the inside line. Deegan coming around the outside. Going to look to try and pass him. I think Deegan will hold on.
And there you go. Deegan does hold on to it. And Travis Pastrana will find himself in the final. Unfortunately, Michaud gets that 3rd spot. But we are looking to fill all the final with all 7 vehicles as it stands right now.
Yeah, and they're going to go to the LCQ. So the remaining 6 drivers will go to the LCQ where they will battle it out for their grid positions. Of course, Robin Shute, I'm afraid, unless they can really get that car re-prepped quickly and depend whether or not the roll cage is damaged, he might not make it. But certainly Michaud, Madison, Meyer and Bufoni we should see in the LCQ later to decide their grid positions.
So you can just see the signature Deegan smile there through his helmet. He's got just a signature smile, right? Yeah, so like he's funny. Man, did you see the video of him beating up his son?
I did.
In a good way.
Yeah,
Daddy still got it.
Yeah, it was a bit of wrestling going on there. He had to show him.
Yeah, and look at that. That gap was narrowly closed there by Travis Pastrana, but Deegan and Pastrana move on. The remaining drivers will go to the LCQ. Bufoni, Mayer, Madison, Madden, and Michaud. All right, so congratulations, Deegan and Pastrana, 2 notable names. And again, just a barely spit of a rain, not too bad, just moistening the track. Just another variable as we get the track prepped. Throw it down to our girl that's in the pits. That is Katie Osborne. Katie, what's up?
And standing by with your guy, Robin Larson, who's also in the pits. He's leading the championship. And I was asking, you feel any pressure about this? Your answer?
No, it feels good. Like 1 and 2 in Europe and going over here to America. We're waiting for this the whole season, going overseas. So yeah, looking forward for this track here in Minneapolis, and it's so much fun on this track. So yeah, waiting for this since the last year, and hopefully we can pull this off also. But yeah, I think the Americans have something else to say.
Okay, you mentioned so much fun as well. Your teammate Andreas Backer did not have so much fun earlier. We were standing by his car. You also had a little bit of an accident there. that has made you kind of rethink your processing out on track here today. How much fun is it still when you're also having to be a little tentative?
Yeah, of course it affects the driving, especially the qualification run that we did like 5 minutes just after the McConnell's and backwards accident. So that was far from perfect, but also in the seating heater you could feel that you're going like those percentage too safe, and you do those small mistakes that makes a big difference. So hopefully we can shake it off and like try to come quicker in the battle brackets.
I'm no driver, so I don't know how to shake it off. How does a driver shake it off when an incident like that actually happens?
I have no idea. So I will just try to get a good run here now in the first battle bracket. Hopefully I win there. Then, yeah, we need to push to, I think I'm going head to head to a really good guy in the next one. So that's gonna be hard, but yeah, just try to get it confident in the track. It's a hard track to get to learn, and especially now when we see the accident. So yeah, just gonna work on the speed and try to get up to that like good speed that you're feeling pretty comfortable with. So yeah, we'll see.
We'll see if you're comfortable out there. Coley, Jared, it's one of those things where he says, I'm going up against one of those like really good guys. I feel like everybody out there is like one of those really good guys.
Yeah, what's really funny, and Cole, you brought it up. Let's backtrack to last year and Larson's kind of status. What was
he
that?
was freaking out about this track last year. He was like, I don't know if I like it. I'm scared. It's a bit too, there's too many jumps. And now he's like, it's so much fun.
Yeah.
That's partly, if you remember last year, Robin was in the Audi, and to be fair, they were struggling a little bit with settings. They just didn't quite have what they wanted. They've got it this time, and yeah, they're absolutely loving it.
Well, taking a look at the battle brackets here, it looks like we are going to see the advancement of the drivers, but Pastrana gets that bye, and you can see those names in gray. Fraz, that's Fraser McConnell, Andreas Backerud, they are out. So that'll be a bye run for those drivers. So already just quickly, we'll see Pastrana versus Bennett. We'll see Ericsson versus Carlson, Connor Martell versus Ollie Ericsson, and then Larson versus that F1 champ that is Jensen Button. Congratulations, you're going against, is he current points leader, Robin Larson?
It would be now Backerud's out. It was him and Backerud were right up there with a 1 and a 2 each. So yeah, I mean, for Robin, that's a good draw, because obviously Jensen himself has said that this is going to be really, really tough for him, and it's wetter than Jensen has experienced in terms of conditions. Jared, I agree, it's not heavy rain, but for him, reading the way the dirt changes is such a skill. You know, the colour of the dirt just subtly gives you a clue as to where the grip is or is not. So good for Larson. I think Martell Ericsson, you got you know, the other matchups we've got. Ericsson and Carlson, we've got Pastrana and Bennett. So I suppose Pastrana as well has got a reasonable draw there, but we're going to look at NRX Next.
All right, here we go. NRX Next, these vehicles. That's what I really love about this year. We've had Next involved for quite some time, but the spec aspect of it, the variable is the driver. Obviously, you know, within the settings, changing their vehicles, but they all have the same engine, all the same suspension, all the same tires, but the variable is the driver. So Lane Vakela there in the back, and then up front, who are we looking at here? Look at the LeCab, the GC.
You got Olafsson in the 52. And we have Michaela Arlen-Kotlinski in the number 19 on the outside. So Arlen-Kotlinski was in action last weekend down in Chile with Extreme E, where her and her teammate Kristoffersson were trying to tie up the title, but it didn't happen. These guys compete in Europe. Of course, we didn't go to Finland in the end, so they've come over here to kind of round out their series with a run in America. And I think most of them are really enjoying it. A couple of the drivers have said they've never competed in America before, and they're loving it. It's, you know, it's a different kind of crowd, it's a different kind of vibe, and obviously it's a massively different kind of track.
Keep in mind, it's a doubleheader weekend for both side-by-sides and Next, so it's independent rounds both on Saturday and on Sunday. So as we get prepped for our NRX Next, what's at stake here, Coley? The drivers advancing on, moving on, and again, we're just kicking things off here with NRX Next.
Yeah, basically it's about how far they go. So this is the semi-final, so one driver, I think, from each side will go through, potentially two, depends on the number of entries. Thank you. And then that will give us the run for the LCQ. So basically they'll all make it, but it's about group position. We've already seen, if you want to do well, look at Pastrana and Deegan. They were right up front. They will want to win and get themselves as far towards the front as they possibly can.
All All right, here we go. We're getting prepped for semifinal 1. As we said, Michaela Kudlinski, Simon Olofsson, and Lane Michaela bringing up the rear. Good start there by Lane Michaela, trying to shoot the gap. Oh, wow. All right. Michaela says, hey, I'm here. I'm ready to party. But Simon Olofsson gets out front, and we know Simon Olofsson is an absolute weapon behind the wheel.
Yeah, he really is. Had a good season. Arlen Kotlinski going inside. I want to see what the grip's like in that braking zone. Michaela gets really deep out.
Oh, boy.
Lights it up to keep it out the wall. Keeps it right up in the fluff loop, but he did manage to keep it out the wall. So, yeah, well done. Nice
You
car
saw
control
that
from
car
Michaela.
just coast and cruise up there. So, again, another indication of get in the marbles. Man, Michaela's he's fighting himself right now.
He's using every bit of the track, isn't
Yeah.
he? He's exploring areas of the track that other people haven't explored before, giving it the Star Trek business.
Exactly.
Look at the size of the jump. Again, they're not massively high, but the float is really long. Olofsson running a little bit close into the background. Michaela goes round, so finally the third moment caught him out. He might try and get the handbrake here. Does he? Spins it round, back on the throttle. All-wheel drive, 2.4 litre, normally aspirated, sequential gearbox. These are great pieces of kit.
Yeah, absolutely. So Simon Olofsson, we talked about how dominant he is and just really tidy. You can see flirting with that wall, absolutely mashing it, throwing up that gravel machine gun. Michaela Kudlinski back there about 1.4 seconds, 1.5 seconds back.
Olofsson had a win earlier in the season. He won round 2 back at Lydden Hill. Had a double header, remember, at Lydden Hill and then at Strängnäs as well in Sweden. Feels like a long time ago, doesn't it? The cars, of course, came across on a boat. So a little season's break and then back at it. Quite a place to get back at it. Such a different style to the European circuits. Travis always said he wanted to challenge the drivers, and I like the fact they go to different places. You go, have you got the tarmac skills? Have you got the dirt skills? And we're going to see snow and ice later on in the season as well.
That's exciting.
I'm loving that. Yeah, really excited. This is about a slippery. This will be more slippery than it is on snow and ice with studded tyres. I can promise you that.
Yeah, it's slick. I mean, again, they're all running on those Yokohama tires coming now into, flirt with that wall. Simon keeps it off. And you can notice, last year we saw him kind of go off camber, throwing it up in the air, but you got to land it straight, otherwise your tire is gonna piece out from underneath you.
Arlen Kotlinski's going well. She's only 1.4 seconds back, so not done quite so much time. Well, not done anywhere nearly as much time as Olofsson has in these NRX Next machines. They're racing a bunch of different championships around the world, so they used to be called GRC Lights. They've been called ARX2 over here. They're now NRX Next. That's this side of the Atlantic. Sideways, Arlen Kotlinski gets a wheel at the back. Just keeps it up on top of the tabletop. Well held by her. But that goes to show it's a real knife edge, Jared. Just because they're going quick doesn't mean they're right on the limit of control.
Look at how, like you said, the scale, that's the word that keeps coming to my mind that you use so appropriately. The scale of those jumps and those hips. Like we said, they're big rollers. It's not a big gap jump, but it still could really disrupt the car.
The drone, it's Justin Smash flying it left of your screen again. I saw him out practicing yesterday, just ripping around the circuit all day, seeing how close he gets to the trees. Here we are now. You're on board with Justin Smash, looking up Simon Olofsson. The drone actually gives us the best perspective we've ever had on this. Look at this, up to the crest. There you can see the line across, which is kind of a kicker. Here's the little jump hop. Get the car down nice and early on the brakes, get it rotated. He uses the handbrake. You see the rear wheels lock, slide through the corner and then away. And actually in these slippery conditions, you're less likely to debead, of course, because the tyre is sliding across the top of the surface. But look at Olofsson's little inputs there, Jared, with the steering. Tiny little inputs. Brilliant stuff. Oh, Justin Smash is down. Justin Smash is down. I reckon that's Olofsson's maybe shot him down with some dirt from the rear wheels. Oh, no. So we'll be hoping Arlen Kotlinski doesn't run that one over, because he man down for the drones.
All right, so Simon Olofsson makes it look way too easy, but he does have to hit that joker lap. There's just, I think, too much air between him and Michaela Kudlinski. So and again, Lane Michaela spun out. You can see 30 seconds way back there. So Simon Olofsson gets the win and will advance on with great confidence against his competitors.
Lovely drive, wasn't it? Just really beautiful car control. Checkered flag. That's a proper American checkered flag. That's what I like to see. We need more of that in Europe.
That is proper. Yep.
Is that Big P?
That is Big P.
Big P.
Big P.
Get in, Big P. That's a proper checkered flag.
Big P is
He knows how to barbecue, by the way. He did this barbecue last year at Glen Helen Helen, and my goodness me, now Jared lives in Glen Helen, so Jared, he disappeared off home. He missed out on some barbecue action. We've got some barbecue action tonight, actually.
We do.
Tommy, Tommy's having a tailgate. What's this?
He's on a tailgate.
Tailgate. Tailgate.
You've never had a tailgate?
No, we don't have tailgates in the UK, mate. You know, we have a boot.
Okay, good point. Good point. Well, we got trucks, man. We got trucks. Tommy's got his AR T-shirt cannon out there.
That thing
my
terrifies
gosh.
me.
Yeah, I know it does. Simon Olsen gets the victory. Michaela Arlen-Kotlinski sits in second, and Lane Bakela unfortunately spun out early on and comes in third. NRX Next semifinal 1. That's a wrap. Next stop, semifinal 2. Here we are on that front row. We got Tommy Hallman with Casper Janssen, George McGinnis, and Eric Gordon. Who should we pay most attention to?
Hellman leads the standings at the minute with 2 wins, a second and a third. He's not been off the podium all season, so he really is a fantastic prospect. He's on the pole on the inside in the yellow and black. Behind him, McGuinness is in a very similar livery, so that'll confuse us nicely. But Casper Janssen in the blue and white is the reigning NRX Next champion, and this year he's had a win, a second and a third. He was 6th in the second round of the UK, which just dropped him a little way back. So these front 2 are in that fight for the championship.
Here we go. Let's see what kind of start. Who gets a clean start? Pretty mellow. Not getting into each other, and coming out up front, that is Tommy Hallman in the 87. Like you said, the yellow and black, the Killer Bees. That yellow squad, number 9, George McGinnis, slides up to second.
Yeah, Casper Janssen gave just a little bit too much space in the run to the first corner. McGinnis going for the round the outside. He's getting up super deep in the bluff. Man. Janssen gets underneath. In the background, Eric Gordon hits the wall. This is Eric's first event this year. Remember, he did the US rounds. He didn't come across to Europe earlier this year. Good to see him back, but Janssen's taken that place back, going to try and chase down Hellman, his title rival.
And what's interesting here is you got to keep in mind, NRX Next, they haven't driven on the wet because the rain came kind of post their practice session.
Yeah.
And their seating. So, here they are, totally different environment.
Jared, they're out there in a race. They're feeling their way around right now on their very first lap. They've got to get out there and just feel what the grip levels are like. In the background, McGuinness goes straight to the Joker. Aggressive entry from McGuinness. That's one of the best Joker lap entries we've seen from young George. So he'll be hoping that he can pop back out and make up a bit of an overlap on Casper Janssen. Green flag waving enthusiastically end of the first lap. Casper Janssen chasing Hellman down.
All right, so that 87 out front, Hallman keeping it tidy, but Hallman knows definitely that Janssen is a threat, but McGinnis with that Joker lap, he's going to try to slowly close that gap. Oh, a wide swing out, but then brings it in. That seems to be the line that everybody's taking.
So tricky. Look down that back section, Carol. I love this alternate lane down the back there. And you can see with the wipers on too. Remember, the visibility is always worse when you're one car back. You get dirt flicked up the whole time. Just when they're flirting with the banks. And then look at this. There's the crossover jump. So coming in from one side to the other. McGuinness did a lovely job on the down ramp there, got it lined up perfectly. What's his gap now? 6.1. Now that was roughly what the interval was earlier on, but that was in side by side. They use a different tyre to NRX Next. I think maybe the side by sides. I was talking to Candice from Yokohama this morning. She was saying about that tyre is actually what a bunch of people use on their road cars on the side by sides. It's great in these tricky conditions. These guys are on a little bit more of a slick, and so maybe the delta will be a little bit different. But McGuinness is closing 5.9. As I say, that is a big moment, but gets the car turned in beautifully. He made that work, didn't he?
Squirrely George, you saw that back end kick around. Look at that, the 87 Tommy out front, but McGuinness, look at that, closing that gap, 5.9.
Yeah, it's a great drive by George. Of course, he's being coached by Kevin Hansen and also by Eric Farr. And Eric was Sebastian Loeb's spotter, the legendary 9-time World Rally Champion when he did Rallycross. Kevin Hansen was here, of course, with Nitro last year. We were still watching this morning with Kevin, and like the FC1s were coming past, going all sides. I was like, dude, you wish you were out there. He goes, no, I'm having a good time watching here. And he was not having we both just desperately wanted to be out there having a go. Yeah, he's like, I'm going to go and have a chat with the team, see if anyone's got a spare car. So we'd love to see the Hansens back here and get some of those rivalries underway again. Hopefully we'll see Kevin at some point in the future, but he's still here in the paddock. We're tempting him.
So the 87 Hallman needs to pull away. Janssen, now keep in mind, that was the white flag, so this is the final lap. They will hit that Yokohama Tire Joker lap. Look at McGinnis gets the fastest lap so far, so he's still, again, closing that gap. 5.6, is that enough?
McGinnis is going to get Janssen. I think whether...
and
definitely going to get
definitely
Janssen.
going to get Janssen, as Janssen got himself.
So Janssen drops it. Now, has McGinnis got enough at 5.6 seconds back now in P2? Has he got enough to edge the Finnish driver, Tommy Howman? Howman, who is coming down now to the left-hander at the bottom of the big jump. Up he comes. He's going to butter this jump if he can, get the car in on the right. Expecting to take this a little bit slower than normal. On the brakes now, get the rotation done into the Joker lap. Here we go.
Here we go. So McGinnis, can he get Hallman out front? Going into the Joker lap. Here we go.
I think he's got enough, Jared. Looking at this, I think he's dead. What?
He's kind of crawling through on that Joker lap.
Maybe we're wrong.
It's going to be tight. Yellow and black, Hallman and McGinnis coming down to that final turn. McGinnis going to get him. He closes the door, and McGinnis gets the pass. And a loose, great race there by George McGinnis. Fastest lap back-to-back. Big P waving the checkered flag.
Absolutely
really
brilliant,
well done.
Jared. Coming on and
Really
way
well
into the Joker lap. That did not look like it was on, but I think the exit of the Joker's tighter than we thought, and he just didn't have enough time. Howman couldn't get him, so McGinnis with a couple of banging laps in the middle of that run. Fantastic drive by him to nick the win.
Yeah, really, really good racing. And, just kind of incidental damage kind of forced his way in there. They were both kind of sliding through. Didn't seem malicious. And George is, as we know, George is very aggressive.
I'm liking this. George is running the Union Jack on the side of the car. Now we're seeing the stars and stripes on the graphics. So George is, mom is American and his dad is from the UK. He actually played soccer for Newcastle United. So, good stuff from George. A brilliant win for him. Tommy Howman in P2. Casper Janssen in P3 with that spin.
Yeah, standing by with Connor Martell, who earlier was talking about the fact that just not really sure what to expect when you get behind the wheel. We've seen a little bit more rain. It's still damp out there. What do you expect now? You're getting behind the wheel.
Yeah, I know last year it was pretty mayhem out there when they went out. So really it's just going to be consistency and not wrecking the car. Oliver's really quick. He had a D-beat in the first heat race, so it looks like the track is pretty smooth now because of all the rain, and we just need to get out front and run our laps. He's going to have to deal with mud on your windscreen, and I don't know how it's going to be. It could be smudge everywhere. I don't know. So we just need to get out front and run our race.
Talking about getting out front, this is one of those tracks too that's kind of new for you altogether. Other people as well this year, but you haven't been here before, so you're relying on what Travis is providing you, the team's providing you. What are they saying?
Yeah, Travis just went out for his UTV race and said it was pretty bad. So I'm going out expecting to be really slow everywhere at the first lap and see where I can push. But again, I think as soon as you start pushing here with how slick it is and how powerful these cars are, you're going to start making mistakes. And I feel really comfortable here because it's like a motocross track, and that's my background. So I'm ready to get in and just send it.
How comfortable does that make you though when you know you're like, I got this, I've done this kind of thing before?
Yeah, I get in and I'm ready to go. And we qualified second behind Travis, and that's all the confidence I need. I know I'm quick, so we're going to go out there and do what we need to do.
All right, best of luck out there.
All right, so there it is. We're getting the track prep. Great words there from Connor Martell. Let's take a look at this Notary track. This is NRX Motor Park. We're in Minnesota, baby.
All right, guys, Connor Martell here, showing you a lap around the NRX track, a motocross track for cars here with Nitro Rallycross. So here we go. So it's going to be really crucial to get a good launch here and try not to slide the tires too much. Come over this big crest into a fast right-hander. Pretty much wide open here, trying to get as much power down to the ground as we can. Up over the first jump, awesome little kicker. Coming down through here, a little double, a little tap of the brakes, rotate the car in. And here's also crucial to get as much power down as you can coming into this long straight. You want to kind of give up at the beginning of the turn so you get a good run out. Completely wide open through here. It's a super fast section. We're hitting almost 100 miles an hour into this next turn up here. Downshift into the left-hander before the big tabletop, basically wide open, trying to get as much wheel speed as you can. A little brake tap so you don't over jump. down into awesome right left, turn 5. Really fast. We head into the Joker. Joker's really crucial here. It's really tight, really gravelly, super loose. So you're just trying to keep the car at a nice pitch here. You really want to stay in on the exit, which I don't do here. Get the power down, come to the last turn, really tight. Just pitch the car and try to get as much of a straight exit as you can. Come to the checkered flag over the awesome finish line jump. And there you go, guys. There's a lap at NRX Motorsports Park.
Track getting groomed here at NRX Motor Park. They're doing a beautiful job. They're going to be super sleek. If you've missed any of the season so far, take a look at this. Sorry about that. We've still got some track grooming going on here at NRX. Bit of rain in the systems. We'll get that ironed out and dried out for you. Quarterfinals coming up for the battle brackets. Of course, drivers going head to head, and we're going to see one driver go through from each of those battles, and that'll take us down to the final. But this is round 3. If you've missed any of the action so far, have a look at this from the UK and Sweden.
In round 2, Nitro Rallycross was welcomed in to the land of Vikings. The strongest circuit, fitted with Europe's first gap jump, proved a worthy battlefield. Larson, Backerud, Eriksson, and the legend, Johan Kristoffersson. All of them had impressive performances in their fight to win the Scandinavian round. But only one could take the trophy home. Eriksson reached the brackets finals after squeezing past Kristoffersson and then pulling off the best overtake of the season so far. Whoa, what a beautiful mastercraft pass! After forcing Pastrana and Larson out, Backerud became the second half of the final. An all-Viking affair, the final was a super close race.
Oh, he goes around the outside and we got contact, people.
But it was Eriksson who managed his first TQ win.
Ollie Eriksson couldn't get him, and he does!
That's more like it.
After not turning a wheel on day 1, Chris Meek came out like a man possessed.
Oh, Meek moves across immediately. He's up into P3 from the back of the grid.
With Larson out of the race early, it was his teammate Backerud that imposed his will and progressed to the final. The story of Heat 2 was the second duel between Eriksson and Kristoffersson.
The World Rallycross champion 4 times over shows his class.
Despite winning this time, Kristoffersson was penalized for hitting a marker, so Eriksson snatched pole position in the final. In semifinal 1, Larson showed he was not done yet and put in a dominating performance.
Larson up the inside of all of them. Absolutely brilliant.
The other spot in the final was grabbed by McConnell.
This is going to be super tight. Connell versus Fraser McConnell. Fraser McConnell just gets there.
Big up.
The Americans, though, were not as lucky.
Disaster for Vermont Sports Car. Both cars are going to end up in the last chance qualifier.
In the second semifinal, Kristoffersson suffered a puncture, allowing Meek to have a dominating performance.
Look at this. Puts a show on down to line. There's some serious talent in this LCQ.
Kristoffersson established his dominance early on and never looked back. So the spotlight was on the fight for P2.
Oh, Martel side by side over the line. Who gets it?
Connor Martel gets it.
At the start of the final, Kristoffersson proved his might in spectacular fashion.
Wide around the outside, Kristoffersson gets up into P3. Unbelievable start from the 4-time world champion.
For Eriksson, his promising weekend would end in a huge disappointment.
It's a TQ man.
Wow. For the rest of the race, Larson kept pushing to pass Backerud, but he would be kept at bay.
Backerud, the European Rallycross champion, is going to take first victory in Nitro Rallycross as he comes down the line.
The Vikings conquered the podium in both Lydden and Strängnäs. But as we head to the All-American NRX Motor Park, the Nordic dominance might not last for much longer. All right, so there it is, the 2 previous rounds, but taking a look at the overall Group E standings after 2 rounds, Robin Larson but notably Backerud out.
And McConnell, Jared. So
That's
P2 and P3. Remember, Backerud had a win and a second place. He was just 2 points behind Robin Larson. That was due to the points that are given during the battle bracket section of the event. McConnell was right up there with some brilliant results, but as you'll see in a minute, we'll show you what had happened. Unfortunately, they're not going to be doing much more this weekend. You then got Ola Christian Baby, Oliver Eriksson, Niklas Gronholm, Chris Meek, Conor Martell, Travis Pastrana, and Johan Kristoffersson. So yeah, this morning, championship front runners Andreas Backerud and Fraser McConnell had a bit of a shocker, unfortunately, on their timed practice lap. So they were pushing really hard for the first time this weekend. Conditions had changed just a little bit. Side-by-sides have been out there. This, I think, is actually a look back.
This is Robin
Shute. So this was another incident.
Sitting
Look at that,
fifth.
on the nose.
Wheelie.
Boom.
1, 2, and a 3. And this is where we saw Andreas Backerud. You see him, but wait, you see the yellow flag go up, and Fraser McConnell, watch him come into view here on the left. And he does exactly what Backerud did. We saw him go up on 2, but watch, it gets even worse.
If you saw it from just before with Larson, he bicycles as well on 2 wheels and gets away with it. I mean, Backerud had a bad one, but Fraser McConnell had an absolute shocker. Now, they're both okay. Their cars are not, as you can clearly see. These things are built strong. They're built strong because of the kind of racing we're going to go and do. They are hardcore vehicles. Thankfully, built strongly enough to look after both those drivers. They're both okay.
Nitro Rallycross quarterfinals, Group E. We're seeing 2 vehicles out there. You know, we started with 10, now we whittled down to 8 because of that big crash of Backerud and Fraser McConnell. Now we're seeing, looks like that is
Pastrana and Bennett on the grid for the first battle. This is a little look at who they are, of course. Pastrana for Vermont Sports Car, Oliver Bennett for Excite Energy Racing. 38 and 29 in terms of their age, and 6 times USA Rally champion. I think gives you what you need to know. He's actually, of course, also the reigning Nitro Rallycross champion. Travis Pastrana hasn't had an absolutely amazing season. Didn't make the final for the first time ever in the history of Nitro Rallycross, including 18 and 19 at Utah, last time in Sweden. So with his State of the Nation speech, we did say to him, dude, if that goes wrong, you're going to have to post on Monday that aged badly. But so far, it's going well.
Yeah, and Travis has something to prove in more ways than one. And Ollie Bennett, he does as well. I mean, you got to think about his Excite teammate. You know, he's got to show Jensen Button what's up. So these bracket battles, a cool, interesting format that we debuted this year. I really like it. Just makes for more racing, more excitement, more bragging rights.
I think also, yeah, we were saying about how it goes tennis or soccer style. You don't meet the top seeds until later. So at the minute you're seeing battles which maybe won't be quite so close as we get through the process. It's going to get super tight.
All right, so again, these are the battle brackets quarterfinals. You'll see 4 of them all together. Whittle it down into the semis. Here we go. Who's going to get the jump? Travis Pastrana gets on that inside. Look at the attitude of that vehicle. You see him throwing it around, really aggressive there. Ollie Bennett has to back off. Now coming into that oval turn, watch this big bank here. And I liked what Travis said.
Bennett's in the wall, Jared. Bennett's in the wall in the background.
Where you going, mate?
Too late on the brakes and just slid up super high. But remember, these guys again haven't run in these conditions. Their heat race was and he's broken the car. So Bennett's put the car on the wall. So now if you're Pastrana's spotter, you get on the radio and say, Travis, the other car is out. You can chill. So he can then take it a bit easier. Okay, front right corner is off Bennett's car. There are the spotters up on the roof.
Yeah, he's done.
Yeah. Game over.
Yeah, you can see Travis Spotter up there. He's telling him, yep, he's done. He's through. So he's going to hold pace here and just continue on, and he will get the victory, moving him into the semifinals.
So I wonder if Travis will continue to get some feel. In theory, he knows Bennett's out, so he could stop now, and it goes on which vehicle's gone the furthest. And he backs off now, comes over the crest. But I think Travis will put the laps in, Jared, to feel the grip level. He's got a buy here, effectively. He's got a free run. He can just chill and feel the grip line. He does need to make sure he doesn't go down Bennett's lane here. Don't follow Bennett's line into the wall either, Travis.
You saw him just track right into that wall.
He's tried that. Look, he's gone deep to get the apex on the exit. So Travis has tried an alternate line. This is basically an extra test session for him. Look at him feeling the grip down that back. It's ultra slick out there, really slippery.
Absolutely. So, like you said, this is a good free reign moment for him. That's what's so cool.
So clever.
Yeah. you know, some people are just kind of scratching their heads. They're like, electric? What's going? Yeah, man. I mean, you know, all the manufacturers out there, they're going to electrification. You know, you name it, they're doing it. And I think this is just the progression of motorsports. You know, obviously, we love combustion engines.
Yeah, dude,
we're a sucker for it. We're a sucker for it. We love loud. We love all these things. What's interesting here is you hear that electric vibe, but what you do hear, you hear the gravel machine gun. You hear hitting the under tray, hitting the carbon fiber. It's just a different experience.
I've been lucky enough to ride in the car a couple of times. I'm determined to get you in one later this year, Jared, whether you want to or not. The gear shifts, you hear a big bang. These cars are actually, and you see Travis there use his fingers on the right paddle and just knock it down a gear. They've got 3 gears. They're running mostly in second and third. There's no need for first. It's just got so much grunt. They said unless you can really use all that power, and here they can't. So they're running the whole lap in second or third gear. And you hear the gear shifts, you hear the gravel on the bottom of the car. I mean, look, yeah, it's okay to miss the noise. That's fine. Nobody's saying you can't miss the noise. That's not allowed. That's fine. But these cars are absolutely awesome. And just the way they can handle the jumps and everything, fantastic.
All right, the Vermont sports car driver, that is Travis Pastrana. Speaking of the rifle, rocking that black rifle, coffee company logo on his chest. And there we go, bringing it on in, and Travis Pastrana gets the checkered flag.
Now, Travis didn't take a joke lap according to the timing screen, which would give him a penalty, but it doesn't matter because Bennett's retired. So then you have to ask, don't you, did he do that on purpose because he just wanted to try 3 standard laps, or did he forget about the joke? You know, did his spotter just go, I'm going back to the 10, it's fine, it's 1. But yeah, good stuff.
All right, so the next opponent is either Ericsson or Carlson as we move into our battle semifinal 1, our next bracket battle. Kevin Ericsson, again, there's the signature Travis thumbs up.
I love the fact he's straight on the radio, Jared. Here's Ollie Bennett going in the wall, and look, he actually goes in rear first, but then it's when it bounces off in front right corner. Yeah, that's gone already. Look, there it goes. It goes on the exit, actually, as he comes out, just one of the linked brakes. 1,000 horsepower do that when you've just stuck it in the wall. So yeah, Bennett, unfortunately, game over there. Okay, so we're not doing jokers and no penalties for joker laps in the battle rounds. There we go. That's not a late change.
No. All right, so we move on to our next bracket battle. And this will be, like I just said, great to see Kevin Ericsson back out here after that injury. He's still kind of hobbling around, but glad he's okay. Going against Andrew Carlson. Andrew Carlson, this is his track. You might not see info there, but guess what? He knows his track and has had more turns and burns on this track than anybody. This is his backyard. His family operates this whole operation, and we saw him last year here, and he is a weapon. He knows how to drive on the dirt. He knows the fastest line around here. He knows what he needs to do, but he's going against Kevin Ericsson, who's an absolute threat. Talking about experience of this track, well, Kevin Ericsson, you know, his family they built and developed this whole car that has the FC1X. So you have to imagine he has the most experience behind the wheel of one of these vehicles.
It's about whether or not Kevin's fully fit, isn't it? I spoke to him this morning. He said, I'm fine. He said, I can't even feel it when I drive. But the finesse which is required on the throttle pedal when you've got this amount of grunt in these slippery conditions, if there's any lack of mobility in that ankle, Jared, it's going to be harder work for him. He is undoubtedly a superb rallycross driver, and Andrew Carlson doesn't have as much experience as Kevin does in this car, but this is Carlson's home track, so they both got their own little advantages here, and this could be a decent battle.
Yeah, I think, you know, and you don't want to overcook it, because we saw what happened, you know, between Fraz and Andreas. So, you know, we want to see aggressive driving, but again, you can't win here in the battle brackets. You got to advance on, because it is a singular event for the driver. So as we're getting Ollie Bennett's outside of his vehicle, that front right.
I think the other thing, Jared, what you're saying about not making mistakes, look at the mistakes that were made in the NRX Next race. Casper Janssen had a little spin, Michaela went round, Michaela Ollencott, Linsky had a big sideways moment. So ultimately you want to win the start here, especially without using the joker laps. So no joker laps, meaning that you've got to make the pass on track. Now that's a pretty cool decision. If you remember last year, Travis in Utah was the only driver who lost the start and didn't take the joker, because he just was like, I want to tear it up, I want to fight on track, I'll try and pass you, apply the pressure. Now normally these drivers would tactically make a decision to joker if they lost the start. Now they've got to pass. You want to pile the pressure on that guy in front. You want them looking in their mirror the whole time. Missing the breaking point by an inch in these conditions will sit him up in the wall like Ollie Bennett was, or at least with a big moment, and you might be able to slide underneath. So yeah, should be decent. Crowd in the background, look at that Hardy bunch. That's what we like to see. It's like being back home for me.
Yeah. it was your fault. You brought this leather with you.
We may have done.
You put it in the overhead bin and brought it over with you. Thank you. Yeah, it's again casual Saturday. You know, game day is tomorrow. We're going to see all of them go head to head on as far as Group E goes. Today kind of just builds up the anticipation. You know, the drivers are getting more familiar with it.
What those kids got, Jared? They look like donuts or something in a paper bag.
There's some mini donuts.
Some serious snacking going on.
Yeah. Where's Tommy?
Where's
Tommy?
Where's Andreas Backerud? We want Backerud. Obviously, we want to know Andreas and Fraser are okay. They've gone off for some checkups this morning after their big crashes, and so we'll be hoping they'll get back here. Maybe we can
mini donuts right there. That's the stand. It's right below us. It's right in front of us.
Come on, someone send
some
mini donuts up.
And this is how it works. This is how it breaks down. So again, 199 versus Ollie Bennett, Ericsson versus Carlson, Martell versus Ollie Ericsson, and then finally Larson versus Butt. Pastrana advances on into the semis.
I say he's going to come up against the winner of this next one, Kevin Eriksson or Andrew Carlson. Same thing will happen on the other side of the draw, and then we go through to the final, and that'll give us our top qualifier for tomorrow. Now they then get to choose which of the two heat races they want to go in, so they can choose pole in one of the heat races. What they'll do is look at which drivers are in each and go, you know what, I fancy my chances in this one. You might try and avoid your teammate, you might actually go with your teammate. There's all sorts of tactics, and they'll be looking at everything from the weather tomorrow through to who's in those races to make that pick. So top qualifier gets the pick, and there's also of course some championship points up for grabs as well.
Yep. All right, still waiting to get Ollie Bennett off the course. All right, looks like we are getting ready to run, and Ollie Bennett being pulled off with that Excite vehicle.
Back to the paddock for that one. Bit more wrenching to be done. Here's our next lineup. Battle semi-final number 2. Actually, I think it's quarter-final number 2. But yeah. Home driver on the outside line. Andrew Carlson on the inside line. Kevin Eriksson. Can Kevin Eriksson recover from that broken ankle? We were all so keen to see him in action. Now he's got to get the job done. The 30-second board goes up. Then the 10, and then it'll be a random gap between the red and the green to get them off the line. They've got a bunch of settings on the dash which they can change to affect how much wheel spin they get off the line. And you can actually see on Kevin's side of the grid, there's almost a dry line from where the wheel spin was so hardcore the previous time out. So some heartbeat thumping in the background, building up the pressure. Here we go.
Let's get ready to send it. Here we go. Carlson versus Kevin Eriksson, who's going to get the jump that inside line. Eriksson could hold on to it. Carlson's definitely going to try to go around the outside, that dry Reinbold vehicle. And there we go. Red and green means go.
A lot of wheel spin on the outside for Carlson. Eriksson gets the best start, was on the inside line, mustn't run wide now, doesn't want Carlson to get underneath him. Carlson runs out deep into the roost. He's going to look for the inside line over this jump, so here we go.
Oh my goodness.
Big jump, wasn't it, for Eriksson?
What a great angle there. The gravel just being flown in his face. Oh, and look at Carlson takes that wide line.
Whoa, that was close.
He was flirting with that wall, man, but I love that perspective. You know, you saw Carlson get all that gravel, and look how dirty that windscreen is.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
Yeah, absolutely filthy. On come the water sprays there, get the wiper on too. Carlson goes for the high line, Kevin goes low. Kevin giving those white tyres a wide berth, remember. He ripped a wheel off earlier on today, would have seen him seeded completely differently. Huge jump from Carlson up over the top there. Is he going to go Joker? Rotates the car early? No, he doesn't. Hooks that bank on the inside line. 1.2 seconds. Carson's closing him down.
I'll tell you what, the attitude that Carlson, he's kind of flirting with disaster here, because we talked about, you know, keeping the tires underneath you. If you land at the wrong angle, we saw that earlier, pow, it's going to pop those things or it's going to eat them. But Ericsson's giving it the beans as well. That's how you say it.
That's what we do say, giving the beans. In the middle of the jump where that lip is. Carson's running the roost line really a long way out. Watch now. See if Carlson goes deep again on the brakes like he did last time. This time
no, look at this, Kevin Eriksson.
Has he gone deep?
Oh, it looked like he was going to rotate.
Look at what they do with that handbrake, Jared. They're using it for a long time on the way in there to get the rotation done. If you don't get the rotation done on the way in, you're in trouble.
All right, getting that clean air, Kevin Eriksson. You saw them kind of alternate, right? You saw Carlson take that outside line, Eriksson take the inside line. Now they've alternated.
So Carlson said to me yesterday, I don't have a handbrake in the trophy truck, and I'm absolutely loving it. He was on the bar big time in there. Gave the good old pull on the way in. Oh, he's two sideways in the background now. Carlson with a mistake. The gap's gone up to 1.5. He's got one lap left to try and close down Kevin Eriksson in front of him, so it's very much advantage Eriksson.
Yeah, great racing by Carlson, but is there enough? Yeah, look at that fever lever, man. He's using that handbrake, and he's getting that car to rotate. And I tell you what, look at that. Just a quick little yank.
Using using it everywhere.
Yeah.
He's using it a lot, Jared. I wonder if we can see him up at the hairpin and just see the way they get this rotated. Watch from Justin Smash now. Look for the handbrake. There it probably is for Kevin, and then in he comes. Look, a long pull on the handbrake. Get the car turned in and away.
But, that's causing the wheels to kind of stop, so that's going to cause you to slide out. Get that car, rotated around. Get it to pivot, but you got to get that grip and get out of the hole. So here they are. Look at him just kind of crisscross.
And again, he's on the handbrake again, Jared. He's using it in nearly every corner. Some of these drivers won't use it at all. I suspect in these slick conditions, they'll be using it a little bit more. But the gap's up to 2.1.
Whoa,
Kevin Eriksson's done a great job here.
Yeah, great race. It's great to see Kevin back behind the wheel of FC1X. And there is the checkered flag. Big P waves it, and just not enough track for Carlson to catch up Eriksson, who was racing absolutely mastercraft. Well done by Kevin Eriksson. Carlson is knocked out. So it'll be Kevin Eriksson versus Pastrana moving on. So again, you see Vettel semifinal 1, Pastrana 1. So before we move on to our next battle, let's throw it down to our homegirl, Katie Osborne. Katie.
Well, Jared, one of the gentlemen who didn't quite get that full feel of the race was actually Travis Pastrana. And he was one of those guys who, because his race wasn't as competitive, maybe he's still trying to catch the tail end of this one, because it's all about learning right now. These battle brackets, as you're watching this one, yours wasn't really a true battle to learn from. What happened?
Oh, it was so slick out there. It's tough because you go through practice and qualifying and everything, and then the rain kind of opens up, and they did a great job of getting the track, so it's kind of blue grooving and slick, but the blue groove all the way across, inside out, it was just ice. So we came in the corner. Unfortunately, Ollie went out.
All right, and at that point, of course, we got to get back to you guys.
Thank you so much, Katie. Our audio guy went and got us some donuts. That's how sweet he is. So such a nice gentleman.
It is, yeah. I'm just
snacking.
finishing my mini donut, yeah. I've also just had a text message from Johan Kristoffersson, who was with us in Sweden last week, and he says, "You're killing me." So I'm trying to watch the WRC from New Zealand and Nitro for the USA while recovering from being in Chile last weekend. The dude's jet lagged to hell, but I hope you're enjoying it, Johan.
All right, Connor Martell, Ollie Eriksson, two young men that are ready to do battle. This should be a good one. Connor says he's feeling the flow. Katie had some words with him, and he's feeling confident.
Yeah, Martell was flying this morning, but Eriksson was actually quickest, wasn't he, in the first free practice session. Came and saw us and was like, that's it, cancel the rest of the day. I'm fastest, we'll finish now, but it's not the finish now, it's just the start of this encounter. Super even. Martell goes round in turn 1, a little bit of contact, the crowd roar there, spins the car round. He's got a job on his hands now to try and catch up with that, Jared.
I'll tell you what, I think they're going to maybe exchange some words there. He got pinched out a little bit. I would love to take a look at the replay there and see was there contact? Did Connor kind of get into the cush up there?
I think the thing is, even if there was, so for me, he was on the inside line and he got into, lent on Ollie. That's what I would do too. You want to try and push Ollie wide. He lifts and then you get away. Unfortunately, he hooked a wheel on the inside and went round. So there's no advantage gained from it. If anything, well, he's obviously lost a lot of time. So 6 seconds back for Connor Martell, and the tricky conditions are proving difficult for everyone.
All right, so some great perspective there. Seeing Ollie Eriksson go high on the bank and then just drops in. Well done by him. And again, his brother already advancing on. He'll go against Travis. The green flag waves, but 5.5. You can see that 5.25 seconds behind is Connor Martell. He's going to need Ollie Eriksson to make a mistake. It's all about being that TQ, man. Getting that sticker on the side of the vehicle. Getting that top qualifier award. Because tomorrow is game day. Tomorrow we'll see all 8 vehicles, the ones remaining standing, I should say.
Looking at Martell's split times, Jared, other than the first one where he lost 7 seconds, he was 6/10 quicker, 6/10 quicker. He's now he's gone 6/10 a sector quicker. Now, the difference, of course, is Ollie Eriksson can afford to back up. He can manage this gap, but he wants to manage it a little bit more because the gap's already come down from 6 seconds to 3.8. So don't let him get within, shouting distance of you. Martell in the background. Look, he's absolutely flicking it in hard. So transition the car beautifully there. Connor Martell is on a big push. The American trying to chase down the Swedish driver. What's the gap now as he comes over the start-finish line? 2.8. He's more than half the deficit. Can he catch catch up with Ericsson on this lap and maybe sneak this one on the final lap.
Is Martel just driving out of his shoes, out of body experience, or is Ericsson making that many mistakes?
I think it's a combination of Ericsson taking it easy and Martel going, you know what, I've got nothing to lose. I'm going home here. Let's just, it's either it's win it or bin it, isn't he? He won't want to bin it, obviously, but he really is trying hard. Look at the way he's moving the car around, Jared. Martel is super confident. He's not going to win this one, but you want to keep your eye on him for the rest of the weekend.
Yeah, and that confidence is really showing right now. There's a big opportunity for him. The attitude of the vehicle, him flirting with that berm. I mean, we were talking about New Zealand. That looked like New Zealand. Look at the air.
Look at the flick into here. Now watch Martel. Oh, this time it's too much. Flicks it back the other way.
Announcer's curse there.
Misses the concrete wall on the outside, but Martel putting on a big show, but this one is going to go the way of Ollie Ericsson. So he goes through. So at least one of the Ericsson brothers is, both the Ericsson brothers have made it. So Conor Martel out, Oliver Ericsson joins Kevin Ericsson in the next round. They wouldn't meet until the final. That would be some final, wouldn't it?
Oh, that'd be great. That'd be the brotherly love. Well done there by Ollie Ericsson. He goes against either Larson or Button. That's who is our next bracket battle. Yeah, let's take a look back at that first corner. Did it go south for Martel? Too aggressive? Was contact made? What do you see, Coley?
So on the inside, look, he gets down.
No,
I don't
no
actually think there is any contact. No,
he just got into the loose stuff.
His front right hooks the dirt. There's like a berm on the inside. You can see it here on the left-hand side of your picture, and he's just literally hooked the wheel on that. He didn't take, no damage on the car. But I say I loved seeing his laps, the following laps where he really went for it and tried to catch up. Some brilliant driving by him, and just managed by Ollie Ericsson.
So some great racing there. Ollie Ericsson will advance on, and as we advance on to our next battle, Robin Larson, who got the victory at round one. And we talked about his excitement level coming here last year was he was nervous. He was very nervous, but right now seems very confident. Jenson Button, you don't need no stats. All you need to know, former F1 champ. He does it. He talked about racing the dirt. Katie Osborne had some great words with him, but Robin Larson, the Dreyer Reinbold JC Racing RX Cartel, that monster vehicle going against the Excite Energy Racing number 22, Jenson Button. Here we are in the car of Jenson. A slow crawl from the start, quite a contrast from what we just saw of Connor and Ollie.
You know what? If I were Jenson, I'd get on the tail of Robin Larson here and see what you can figure out, because Larson is coming in hot into this hairpin. Jenson knows he needs to come in here a little bit more aggressive. He's got to get on the gas now and just open it up. Yes, use the oversteer through the exit. Now he takes the right lane with Larson on the left one. Losing out at the start is going to make it very tricky for him, but I say Larson is the championship leader, so if Jenson can see anything that he's doing here, he goes for the high line here, sideways on the outside. Go on, JB, get it done. It's so different for anything he's ever done. You don't slide an F1 car, that's just a 10th gone. You just don't do it. And here, particularly in these conditions, he's got to get the rotation in and allow it to slide all the way through the corner there. Nice. You see just small inputs on the exit, on the gas, and get it around the outside. F1 driver in Nitro Rallycross. Amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. There we are in the cockpit. Let's look at those eyes. The race eyes getting big. Slams down, you can see. But, I mean, Robin's showing his dominance right now. He's just, if there's an arm wrestling match, he just broke his wrist.
Larson is going well, isn't he? You're on board with him now as he exits the hairpin, tucking the nose in, looking, flicking. Watch it now, flicking to the left-hand side again, just flick over that way. Yeah, so Jared's having a look down at the dash and figuring out the settings. So the other teams do this as well. Those settings, the 10, the 10, and the 4 are the different settings effectively for the torque curves, the power, the launch. And it was funny when Travis was up here in Sweden. He's doing 10 and 10? I was using 10 and 7.
Yeah, he was definitely analyzing all that, and like you said, Travis did not make the final, first time ever in Nitro Rallycross history. Spent a lot of time with us up in the booth. We got some great insight.
Oh, it's a pleasure, but not where he wants to be.
Not exactly, not at all. So the white flag is out, and Larson just getting more distance on Jenson. 7.3 seconds now behind. Very accomplished racer, Jenson Button. And he talked about, driving this vehicle only on pavement. He's only driven on pavement, like he's saying in Bordeaux, and then at Goodwood Festival Speed, he drove it, but that was all asphalt.
Yeah, did some testing as well in Barcelona. The pre-season test conditions there were tricky. Didn't do so much of the gravel stuff. Larson, meanwhile, you know, career rallycross driver, double European rallycross champion, winner at Lydden Hill. Yeah, their careers in rallycross are at the complete and utter opposite ends of the scale. But yeah, just great to see Button. This is going to be the end of Button's first day in rallycross. Good to see him, though.
There it is. Robin Larson gets the win. The Dreyer Reinbold pops a wheelie. Dreyer DRR JC vehicle. Congratulations to the Swedish driver, Robin Larson. Some more confidence in his corner. Unfortunately, Jensen Button, his day is done, but we will see him again tomorrow. So, kind of an anticlimactic beginning, but overall, Larson, like I said, getting some confidence. Congratulations to Robin Larson. Let's throw it down to Katie Osborne. Katie?
Happy you just won that. What'd you say?
Yeah, at least I showed teeth, you know.
The Swedish.
Yeah, the Swedish showed teeth, not the Finnish. So yeah, it's good.
So taking us through that, of course, we're hearing it's slippery. It's slick out there. The car's a little bit out of control. How do you manage when you're in the driver's seat?
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, there's some slick patches, but then we get the kind of a grooved part where it's good grip. And obviously, in my heat, I was starting outside of a corner. I needed to be aggressive through turn one. I got a bit of a jump. Felt, I had to stay the outside. I don't know what happened to him in the inside of the span or something. And yeah, from there we could just manage, you know, risk, not take any risks, just get through to the finish and learn some stuff on the way. So it's good.
You're talking about learning some stuff. What have you learned to take into later on?
Inside line is not quick here. Yeah, it's slick in there. So we're probably going to see some very alternative lines for the next round of battles for sure.
Okay, well, it's a game of guessing game at this point in time. You can tell these guys are still trying to figure it out.
Interesting, and that's what we were saying about Pastrana. You know, he did those 3 laps, tried some different lines. Ollie Eriksson there confirming what we thought, which is that there may be some grip where you don't think it is. Right. So he's tried a few different lines as well, and yeah, maybe we'll see some of those alternatives coming up in the next round. There
it is, our Group E semifinals. Pastrana versus Kevin Eriksson, and then on the other side, the other Eriksson, Ollie Eriksson versus Robin Larson. So 3 Swedes and an American walk into a bar. We'll see who comes out swinging. All right, next up, I'm seeing the side-by-sides pull up to our start grid. And some side-by-side action. Looks like I'm seeing Maddo. Now remember, this is the remaining pilots, right? So the remaining drivers who did not.
Yeah, so Leticia Bufoni will be down there definitely, of course. Robbie Madison had issues earlier on. Here is your grid. Robin Shute not at the back of it. If you missed it earlier, Shute actually went end over end on the series of jumps down the back of the venue. Bufoni on the back row, Meyer and Madison on row 2, Madden and Michaud on row 1.
Ben Meyer, definitely one to watch, 13 years young. Robbie Madison, absolute legend. Terry Madden up front, he's used to the open desert, Ultra 4 racing. There's Leticia Bufoni. Again, Leticia, famed skateboarder, multiple accolades on 4 wheels, but talking urethane, small wheels, as opposed to...
You need to go, if you're not into your skateboarding, and I appreciate some people won't be, they won't understand the legendary status of Bufoni. Like, you need to go check out her Instagram and just see what people can do on a skateboard. You know, it might not be your bag, but it is insane. It's absolutely incredible. She's into her drifting, Jared. I spoke to her yesterday, because you do Formula D, and she was saying, I was like, do you want to compete next year? She's like, yeah, I think I might like to. I was like, what are you learning? She's like, I'm learning so much. She's here. She's a pro athlete. All pro athletes, they suck up those experiences so quickly, and she's just keen to learn.
All right, here we go. Out front. Let's see who we got. Who's going to get the jump? Side by side again, Bufoni, Madison, Michaud, Mayer, and Madden.
Good start by Robbie Madison on row 2. Look, he's already going to be up into P2 here if he can get alongside. Michaud is on the inside line. Coming down to that braking zone. Madison trying to shut the door. Little rotation.
You got Madden and Madison going wheel to wheel.
Oh, they go for the same line, Jared. Puts him in the wall.
Oh, no.
So Terry Madden's been put in the wall by Robbie Madison. I thought Madison would go to the right-hand side, and he didn't. Right, holds on. Madden manages to hold on to the car. Doesn't seem to be damaged, so he's done well there. I think that's Meyer coming around the outside. And it's Bufoni in P5, so she's still there. She's got to hang on to the back of this pack and just try and increase those lap times.
Yeah, Ben Meyer gets the jump on Terry Madden, so Terry definitely shaken but not stirred. Goes around the outside, so talking about that Joker lap, so it looks like Madden and Bufoni both taking that Joker.
Yeah, both going on the same lap. this is where you want to be leading, isn't it, from a dirt point of view, just in terms of visibility. They've actually got a sweeper down on the grid. I just spotted that in the background. So in between the starts, they're getting down there and just definitely trying to clean that one strip of pavement up, ready for the starts.
It's definitely intimidating, you know, for Leticia, and for all the racers. But I'm just saying, when you get all that gravel thrown in your face, you're fighting that.
These are not the conditions you want to make your debut, because it just makes it all a little bit harder, Jared. It's hard enough to learn to get these things by the scruff of the neck and really chuck them about. And when it's slippery, you need that little bit of finesse, which when you're first starting out, you don't have. You know, the finesse is what comes. Just like none of these guys will be able to kick flip a big set of stairs. No. You know, that's not what you do when you first get on a skateboard. Right. Yeah, you fall over a few times, and that's what Bufoni's doing here with her learning process. But it's great to have along. She's doing the whole series too, which is important to note.
Yep. Robbie Madison goes around and hits that Joker lap, but Michaud with the final lap, he will hit that. Can Matto catch him? Now, this is all about position. This is all about position, because here we are going in. Next stop for all the side-by-sides will be the final. Again, it's a doubleheader weekend for side-by-side and NRX Next.
Great to see side-by-sides back, isn't it? I know how many of you enjoyed watching side-by-side last year. There's so many places over here in the States where you can use these vehicles, just wide open leisure areas, basically, which are specifically for these kind of cars. And yeah, it's a great scene for it. All these cars being run by Scotty Lawrence's outfit, all the Can-Ams, they're all identical. They use the same tyres. So it's just completely down to the minor tweaking that you can do on the settings in the background. I think it's Bufoni super sideways. Go on, get in.
Come on, girl.
And also, you know, and then it comes down to the driver. Yep. So it's a cost-effective way of doing some top-level racing.
All right, so Michaud out front. The 13-year-old Ben Mayer sitting in second.
I think Madison will get Mayer, but I think Michaud's got enough of a gap. Here they come down the hill. Michaud coming into that last corner.
Yep, there it is. So Michaud will get the checkered flag. Matto, he does get Ben. And here he goes, the 13-year-old, airing it out. Big P waving it. And Terry Madden, and finally Leticia Bufoni bringing up the rear. And there's Leticia, signature black and gold.
Getting some serious airtime this weekend. What a place to make your side-by-side debut. It's cool, isn't it?
No, and like I said, this compared to Glen Helen, and I'm talking about the lower 48 rounds, but, you know, here compared to Glen Helen in Arizona, and there is the finish. You can see Michaud getting the victory, Robbie Madison from Australia, Ben Mayer, Terry Madden, and Leticia Bufoni.
So somebody said to me earlier, Jared, they'd like to hear me announce from inside a side-by-side.
Oh, there we go.
They said they want you to do the spotting for me. So should we try that at the end of the year? Maybe cool. you can tell me when you think I should go, and tell me what's going on in and or how about we both enter?
I'm with that.
Okay,
you and me,
yeah.
I'm gonna battle you.
Yeah, mate, I'll be well up for it.
those side by sides, they can get after it. Man.
It would be great.
Yeah, they're wild. All right, Arizona or Glen Helen? We gotta decide.
Yeah, maybe I don't know, maybe one of the ice races. It'd be cold, wouldn't it? It's maybe not for us, is it? Okay, last chance qualifier coming up for NRX Next. They'll all go through to the final. You look at the back of Eric Gordon's car. Eric joined us last year. I think he's got two of these cars, if I remember correctly, but he decided not to come to the European rounds. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Some of the Europeans have come over here, and you know, I saw Tommy Howard yesterday, and I was like, how's it going, dude? How you enjoying it? He goes, it's my first time in America. And then he goes, actually, it's my first time outside Europe. And then he's like, oh my God, the track is sick. Like, she was just so excited. Scandinavian kids coming over and just, getting after it, basically. Casper Janssen winning the series last year, and Janssen was he'd only just stepped up into this category last year. Did a brilliant job.
All right, looks like some more people are joining us. The rain has stopped, which is good. An announcer's curse, hopefully it holds.
That's Club Nitro in the background, if you're wondering, down there. That's where we're going as soon as we come off air, Jared.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. We got donuts from our audio guy. We got some Smirnoff ready on ice. We got the Revel Stoke. I did take a shot of they have dill pickle whiskey down there.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm up for that.
He says no, audio guy. He gave the throat chop. All right, Yokohama Tire Girl with the 30-second card. You see what it says on the other side? She flips it around and says, get ready to send it.
Does it? Yes. Awesome.
Casper Janssen, Lane Michaela, Eric Gordon. Good to see Eric Gordon. And again, this is a very unlike position for Casper Janssen to be in.
I was just about to say that. He had that spin in the last one. Unfortunately, finds himself in the last chance qualifier. Reigning NRX Next champion. Just needs a tidy run here. In terms of form, Janssen should smash this.
Who's going to get the jump? Lane Michaela, Casper Janssen, Eric Gordon, Flash Gordon comes up from the rear. Casper Janssen takes that inside line, obviously with that position, that pole position. Lane Michaela sits in second, and here we are. Ducks in a row.
So Janssen now just needs to check it out front. He's going to hope he doesn't get taken out on the brakes up at turn 1 because it is slick here. If you remember, Michaela went super high last time. Lane Michaela, though, well aware of that this time and holds a much lower line.
Yeah, Gordon, remember, everybody taking that, they kind of overcook it and go into the bank. We saw that early with Ollie Bennett, you know, went into the wall and took himself out.
It hasn't rained now, has it? For, I reckon, a good half hour, 40 minutes. And maybe it will again. But it's. I think the track's starting to get a bit stickier, Jared. You're starting to see people able to brake a little bit later, more predictable grip levels. They're continuing to groom it in between the sessions, which will take some of that slime that's on the top surface off and just give these drivers a little bit more grip.
All right, so Casper Janssen doing what he needs to do, but Lane Michaela, we'll see if he can catch him. But again, it's the mistakes that you yourself make that have been hurting drivers such as Janssen.
He's going to have a job to do, isn't he? Because it's going to see him further down the grid than he'd like to be in the final later on today. We will have 7 cars in the final. We did have 8 entered. Mark Flaherty was entered.
Oh, no, Gordon's
on the side of the road. The car looks like is it a spin?
I think he just rotated. Yeah,
that's up on top of the crest. Yeah, that's an unusual place. So he spun over the maybe over the start-finish line, Jared.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mark Flaherty was supposed to be in this as well. Another British driver, unfortunately, injured himself, I believe, racing his son on a rental scooter around New York last week. So, the glamour. So, he's unfortunately not taking part, but he is still hanging out with the other British drivers here, seeing what they can do. Janssen's super close on the inside. Janssen, what's he done there? Did he drive over the bank to get into the Joker?
That was kind of an odd run there. And look at this, Janssen getting squirrely, and look at that, Michaela takes the lead. But mind you, 3.2 seconds. So that was
weird by Janssen. I wasn't sure if he'd gone into the Joker too late, or if there was just some dirt in the road in front of where he climbed over.
Look at that. You can see that cushion, that curtain out there getting into it, kind of kicks him back. So Lane Michaela, 1.8 seconds. I think Janssen might be able to get it back. A wide swing there. That's not the proper line. You can see just again with the cushion.
On the exit, it does seem like the right lane is the one to take in terms of carrying momentum off that hairpin. And again, the low line here seems to be the one that's being favoured by the drivers. If you're in a huddle, if you're in a pack and there's 7 or 8 cars and people are getting into each other, that's when you might take that alternate line. But at the minute, for me, the lines down there are pretty obvious which one is the right one.
Look at that. Okay, here we go. So Lane Michaela is taking the Joker lap, and look, he gets loose up there. And Casper Janssen is going to take that lead back from Lane Michaela. Janssen, you can see flirting with oh boy, look at that. Little 50-50 grind there from Lane Michaela. Little insult to injury there, gets that. Loses the lead to Casper Janssen, getting the checkered flag. Lane Michaela sitting in second. And I believe, haven't seen Gordon in a while. And don't know if he just pulled off. Looks like, Eric Gordon came to a halt and pulled off in that back 40 Motorsport, number 99. So we'll see all of the NRX Next vehicles in the final. It's all about position, though. All right, the action continues here at ERX, and there are the results from this NRX Next LCQ. Casper Janssen, Lane Michaela, and Eric Gordon. Remember, it's a doubleheader for Next and side-by-side. All right, so down to Katie Osborne, down in the pits.
Was just now debriefing. You were using some driver hand sounds. You're not moving on, but realistically, what were you kind of talking through?
Yeah, we were just talking about the start. I got pinched a little bit by Oliver, and I should have made my move a bit sooner on the first turn. Basically, we got sucked down into the dirt in the inside, which is super soft, and it just caught the front tire and spun us around. Really unfortunate because we put some really solid lap times down. I know Oliver was cruising, but we were catching him pretty quick, so I think we definitely could have won that race. And I'm glad Travis is still out there. I know we're the second fastest out of everyone here, so we're looking up for tomorrow for sure.
As it relates to the second fastest, that's a good takeaway, but also you're learning a few things what can you take into tomorrow?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely know, these guys were here last year and I wasn't, so Oliver knows what to do with that turn, and I didn't really expect him to come down like that. So tomorrow, it's everyone's elbows are going to be out and mine are going to be out a little bit wider.
Guys, I don't know. What do you think? Can we see your wide elbows? What do you got? That's pretty good. I don't know. Thanks.
There we are. That's better. We're just having some donuts here, basically. Just being really honest about it.
I'm throwing my elbows out. Connor's doing it on track. I'm doing it up here to get donuts.
We're trying to get some guests as well. Anyway, right. So Jared, we finally let him out of the announcing booth earlier on today. He was allowed to go and have a little roam about, and we had him catch up with some of our celebrity entries for the side-by-sides.
Leticia Bufoni, accomplished skateboarder, going from urethane wheels to now air-filled Yokohamas. How many X Games medals? How many accolades? I mean, let the people know. Just stunt on them. What are some of the biggest accolades you have?
I have 12 X Games medals. 6 of them are gold. And, been skating for 20 years, been competing for 18 years, and I'm super excited to try something new and start racing.
Dude, you came out of the womb on a skateboard. I mean, you said been skating for 20 years. What's your biggest accomplishment in the skateboarding world, though?
I think my biggest one was Street League in 2015. It was the first ever Street League for women's, and it was a year that I was doing a lot of stuff outside of skateboarding, like magazines and fitness, and people was talking a lot, saying that I wasn't skating anymore, that I was only modeling, and I wanted to prove them wrong.
Yeah.
So I think for me personally, that one was my best competition ever.
Dropping hammers on fools, like, okay, cool. Yeah, you're fit, you do your thing, and obviously Nike and Red Bull. And how did this come to be? I mean, this is your first foray into racing a Can-Am. How did that come together? Here you are.
So I always loved cars. I always loved racing. I used to race go-karts when I was little, and then my life got too busy with skateboarding, so I didn't have the chance to keep racing go-karts. And Yokohama invited me to come race this side-by-side, and I was so excited. I was like, I'm down, let's do it.
Yeah, it's cool. And you just came from Prague. What were you doing in Prague?
Yeah, so I was in Europe for almost a month, just doing skate demos in a bunch of countries, and got to skate a bunch, and now I'm ready just to do the race and learn a little bit.
Do you think, you're racing against a 13-year-old, racing against Travis Pastrana, racing against Robbie Madison, Brian Deegan. These are names. Are you nervous? Your smile. I don't know. Are you nervous about that?
I'm nervous, but at the same time, I'm really excited to be racing with them, and I hope I can learn a little bit from them, because they know what they're doing. I don't know what I'm doing. I just got here for the first time yesterday. I learned a lot in this past 2 days, but I hope I can learn a little bit more from them.
The track is nasty. The track is set up. I think you're very accomplished, and again, I think it's awesome that you're out here. So go get it, girl.
Thank you.
Bufoni. Let's see how she does.
Jared, I just get super jealous of everyone else's really cool accent. You
got a cool accent.
Well, you guys think that, I suppose. Yeah. How cool is Leticia, man?
She's mad cool.
Yeah.
I've been hanging out with her. Yesterday we went over to Carlson's house. He has a dirt oval with go-karts.
At his house?
Yeah, at his house.
No way.
Yeah, so
now I'm jealous of his house and her accent.
No, I mean, but we're all racing out there. Tommy was over there, and speaking of Tommy, he's having fun out here as well.
He's always having fun.
Yeah.
Tommy always has more fun than Jared. We're going to have a word and see if we can get something put into our riders, see if we can have as much fun as he does.
That's right, we're here in the United States of America! ERX, what's up, everybody? We're down here with the best fans in the whole wide world. Everybody's coming out here. Everybody's hyped up. You got your drinks, you got your food, but you're missing t-shirts. Who wants t-shirts? Let's go! Yeah! Oh! For the side. All right, I got you. All right, who wants one over here? Yeah? All right, let me load my second shirt. I got it. I'll figure it out. I got it. Who wants it? Who wants it? I don't believe you. I don't believe you. Right there, yeah. Let's go!
There is Group E Scenic Heat number 2. Got time to check in with DC one more time.
I'm gonna get more practice. Let's go, Nitro Circuit!
Special guest.
Back to you.
The man, the myth, the legend, Travis Pastrana in the house, of course.
Nitro Rallycross is brought to you by Smirnoff Ice Smash, full flavor, unleashed. My Energy, driving the charge to a sustainable future. And O'Reilly Auto Parts. O'Reilly Auto Parts, professional parts people.
That was me screwing up a donut bag in the background there. They're all gone. All the donuts are gone. If there are any guests coming up here for donuts, you're too late. Yeah. Deal with it. We've eaten them all.
Donuts on the track. Yeah. Well, actually, you don't want to see a donut on the track. Well, that means you're going to lose because
unless you've won.
Unless you won, it's a celebratory donut. But
hope that was clear.
We have a little maid service here at NRX, getting the track prepped once again because we do continue on with our battle brackets. We have NRX Next finals and our side-by-side finals. So a star-studded cast behind the wheel of the vehicles, again, notably Travis Pastrana and all the Group E drivers, but seeing Matto out there, seeing Brian Deegan, he's definitely on pace, he's getting after it, but here are our semifinals for our bracket battles. Pastrana versus Kevin Eriksson, and the other side, Ollie Eriksson versus Robin Larson, who's going to the finals. It's all about bragging rights, building up to tomorrow's main event.
It's exciting to see Kevin Eriksson at this point in the competition. I know he's only won the one, but he had a tough race against Andrew Carlson. He's up against Pastrana now. Pastrana's been quick here. Kevin coming back from injury. Could we see him and his brother go head-to-head in the final? Ollie Eriksson, of course, was absolutely fantastic during qualifying in Sweden. He's been bang on the pace. He was fastest this morning in free practice, but the championship leader is Robin Larson. So neither of these battles is easy, and the final will be brilliant, whoever makes it through.
All right, let's see what we got here. As again, the track is getting prepped, and they will be throwing down. All right, so that was Group E. You could see the steamroller out there. That thing just matting down the dirt. So it's transforming throughout the day and throughout the weekend. That's what's really crazy about it. And as you said, the rain has kind of subsided, so that's going to help get some more grip. And it's just changing the dynamics of it throughout the weekend. I mean, again, they practiced, they paused. Rain came, that changed it. Now it's drying
up, and it's getting cut up. It's so hard because the conditions change continuously. Yeah. It makes it really, really tricky. Katie Osborne, where are you?
Mr. Coley, I'm actually down in Oliver Bennett's pit, and the car, he broke a steering arm. Meanwhile, that's a disappointment for him. And on the other hand, on the other side is Jensen Button, and unfortunately, it was also one of those days where, hey, you learned a few things. Ish.
I'm not sure I did, but no, I mean, it's so worlds away from what I'm used to. I might as well be in a speedboat out there, it's it's so different to what I'm used to. And when it's wet, that's always a condition that I love in a car on tarmac. And if I was on tarmac around here, it'd be a lot easier. But in these conditions, when you have to be aggressive and really turn the car before a corner, I just have no idea what I'm doing. So no, it's so alien, and it definitely wasn't fun. But no, it wasn't. I mean, yesterday when it was dry and I was progressing and getting confident in the car, and then qualifying wasn't too bad, but I was still 1.5 seconds off of 1.6 seconds off of Larson. But then in these conditions, like 3 seconds. So no, it's so alien, and I need a lot of time to get to grips with it. I wish there was some tarmac sections. Let's just say that. But into the deep end. But sometimes it's a good way to learn, I guess.
To be fair, Jensen is doing a few more rounds, so maybe some tarmac in the future, Travis. Let's plug that one. But as it relates to the fun component, what's it going to take to be fun? Because you got a day ahead of you tomorrow.
Well, I mean, I don't expect to be like at the front fighting, but to be in the mix at least would be nice. And if it's dry, I mean, that for me that's so much better because there's more grip. You kind of know what the car's doing a bit more underneath you. Well, I do anyway. As I said, the jump's fine. The jumps are like the bit I thought I'd be scared of, but they're amazing. It's really good fun. It's the corners, and it's when you have the car rotated, I immediately react to it and try and counter steer, where I should be just keeping the steering wheel still. But I don't know where the car's going to go. You know, I don't know when the car's sideways where it's going to end up. When I'm precise in a single seater or something, or a GT car, you pretty much know where you're going to be. So it's so alien, and so there's a lot to learn. And maybe I should have done a bit more testing before I came and raced against some of the best in the world. But a lot of respect for the guys out there.
Yeah, you said that a couple times. What I have respect for you about, that I've already in the last 12 hours learned, is that you're okay with kind of like dropping your ego, saying, I don't know, and the humility that you're kind of gaining through this process. I feel like a lot of drivers are like, man, the car broke, and oh, the dirt. But you're actually like saying like, hey, look, I'm learning.
100% me. You know, it's the same car as everyone's, and these guys do a great job of setting the car up as well. So, no, I mean, it's so different to what I do that I should be just like, you know what? I'm not quick, but I will get quick with time and learn. But it's tricky as a racing driver. You're competitive in everything. You want to be competitive in everything you do, not just racing cars, but playing tennis or boxing with the missus, who also kicks my butt boxing. But you know, exactly. So it's really tricky as a driver that's, you know, had a long career and different things, and I've been competitive, and suddenly I'm not. It's like but it's all learning, and I love watching what these guys can do with these cars.
All right, it's all learning. Thank you, Jensen. Now, guys, it sounds like you guys have someone with you that we're pretty stoked to see.
Absolutely. Stoked to see him, and stoked to see a smile on his face. Fraser McConnell, a.k.a. Fraz. We saw the crash. How are you feeling?
Good. I went to the doctor and got my visa, so I'm clear to go. I feel totally good. Just need to find a car to jump in now.
That's good. Unfortunately, the car isn't quite so good, is it?
No, it was a big one, biggest one for my career, and I haven't been able to.
Have you seen it?
Yes, I have. I haven't seen the GoPro yet.
Talk us through it, Fraz. You're coming through next. Talk us through this. Here we go.
Yeah, no, come into the same line that I usually do, and you know, it's just one of those unlucky things where when you're on the limit in motorsports, it you know, you can very easily go over it, and we did go over many times here. I think it was 9 significant impacts.
Wow!
And then a splush into the pond.
I'm glad you landed Yokohama down.
Yeah.
You know, and not on the roof in the water. But
yeah, this was the scariest part for me.
That wall.
I was looking right at the K rail, and thankfully it just bounced me right over.
Oof.
I was you know, looking dead at the concrete, but you know, happy I'm here, and happy I'm good to go for tomorrow. So yeah.
You're good to go for tomorrow. Are they putting the car back together?
I don't know about put together. We'll see the options. We're gonna evaluate with the team.
Okay. All right.
But yeah, we're working on a plan. So tell us there's a chance. You're telling us there's a chance.
There's a chance. There's a chance.
Yes, mate. That's right. Big up.
Yeah. All right. Well, stick around. Don't go anywhere. Hang out with us while we see our first semifinal battle between Travis Pastrana and Kevin Eriksson. So again, Kevin Eriksson, welcome back to him. He suffered that injury where he missed the 2 rounds that were in Europe, and now here he is back behind the saddle of his trusty number 23, the OMSE vehicle. Again, 2 times RX2 champion, 2018, 2019, and 6-time USA Rally champion, Travis Pastrana, in the 199, the Vermont sports car. Who's one to watch this weekend?
Travis has been very fast in all the practices. I've been right there with him, and you know, I'm very excited to see what these guys are going to do. It's Kevin's first time back from his accident, and his driving style fits this track perfectly. And I'm excited to see both of these guys go for the big sender.
It's again, I'm super stoked you're okay. That's just priority. That was scary, man. All right, here we go. Travis Pastrana, Kevin Eriksson. Who's going to get the jump? Obviously, Pastrana has that inside line. Can he hold on to it? And here we go. Green means go. Nice start, both even start. You see a little steam being made off of that pavement, and Pastrana gets the jump on Kevin. Nice clean race line there from Pastrana. Coley.
Pastrana knows not to let the door open. He opened it once last year, if you remember, in Utah, and the Hansen took advantage of that. He will nail this onto the inside line. Doesn't go for the big flamboyant line. Now he's got to try and find some traction on the exit. Kevin Eriksson going to go the alternate line. Did he have any choice? Eriksson might now have that inside line. Can he get in front of Travis? I thought Travis had managed to keep keep it sharp, but Ericsson has snuck through. Travis now goes high on the handbrake. Here he goes for Vermont Sports Car. Can he get the lead back? 2.5 laps to go.
Well, this is what we're talking about. He was forced to that upper line. That's less than ideal. Kevin got both of the quicker inside lines. So here we go. Look, you can see him getting up into that bank. Now Travis getting out to that cushion. That's going to slow him down.
That's the same line we saw earlier on for Conor Martell. Those Vermont Sports Car cars look super hooked up in these conditions, Jared. They're able to really flip the car about. Fraz, what's he going to do here? Where's he going to get through? Where's your best bet?
Well, you can see Travis going high-low, trying to find the grip. It's not necessarily the quickest when you're on the inside line in these conditions. On the outside, you do get that fluffy stuff, but the tires can take.
He's in the wall. Pastrana in the wall on the landing, came down on the K-rail on the left-hand side, and he's broken the suspension, so Pastrana is out. Absolutely sent it. I'm sure we'll get a view from the outside line, but that leaves Kevin Ericsson, who's just recovered from a broken ankle. Remember, this is his debut in the FC1X, and he's going to be in the final battle.
Well, you got to remember, he helped develop this thing, so he's got more seat time than anybody behind the wheel FC1X, as we're now in the cockpit of Pastrana. Just overcooked it, kicked off to the left, so unfortunate turn of events there for Pastrana as we were riding shotgun with him. So Pastrana just getting too sendy and just overcooks it, gets into the wall. That front left corner collapses like Bambi on ice, and Kevin Ericsson will get the victory. Who's he going to go against? Is it going to be his brother? Is he going against Ollie? Or is he going against Robin Larson, who is our current points leader?
Yeah, looking down at Larsson's qualifying record, of course, he was first in the UK, he was third in Sweden, so he went out in the semi-finals in Sweden. If he makes it through and manages to take it here, Larsson will be the first person to take 2 TQs with the FC1X.
That's right.
I'm kind of into seeing Oliver Ericsson versus Kevin Ericsson.
Well,
you've worked with the family a lot, Fraz. I mean, what will Andreas Ericsson be doing if he's got to deal with both his sons in the same race? Will he be freaking out?
Oh man, I think Andreas should hand over the headset to one of the other guys.
Do you really?
No, they're an awesome set of brothers. I was privileged to spend a lot of time with them in Sweden. Very competitive, but the love for one another is as high as it can be. So
yeah, for sure.
I guess we'll see who can win the next battle, and a brother fight would be interesting.
It would be good. It would be good.
All right, there it is. Kevin Ericsson gets the victory, as unfortunately Travis Pastrana takes himself out, breaking that front left suspension and causing him to halt. So there he is, getting outside of his vehicle. And there is the number 199, Travis Pastrana, walking off. But Kevin Ericsson comes out the victor. He will move on to the finals, and we will find out who he is going against. They're already on that start grid, and we're talking about Ollie Ericsson and Robin Larson.
How the fortunes changed this morning. Kevin clipped one of those big white truck tyres in the background, ripped the front corner off the car. This time it was Pastrana's turn, went just a little bit too big on the jump out of turn 1, landed on the K-rail and took his side off. So, yeah, this morning Kevin wasn't down in the dumps, but he was saying, look, I don't even know if they're going to get the car fixed in time for the next session. They had 40 minutes. The team worked super hard. They got it done, and now he's into that final battle. There is Pastrana.
All right, Travis walking off. It's not the way you want to exit the track, right?
No.
Sorry, hate to pick the scab, but you said there's a chance, man. That'd be absolutely awesome and epic if you fight back, Fraz.
I'm Pastrana there kept that door shut, didn't he? But then on the exit, just a little bit too wide, and Kevin got that inside line. I thought when Kevin was forced inside, he might have to wait longer on the throttle.
Oh, here's what
it worked out. It was tiny. Look, that's the jump that caught out Arpin last year. It's the one where Faust nearly landed on the top of Hansen. It's huge, and Pastrana out.
It's very deceiving when you do come around that first corner, because it's a huge jump. You're looking way up at the sky, but once you've taken off, it still does veer a little bit to the right. So if you're taking too much angle to the left, or you haven't straightened up properly, you will end up in the K-rail like Travis did, and it's just one of those things that can catch you out very easily.
All right, what do we got here?
Great stuff. Just waiting now for our final, semi-final and final brackets, and also getting on to finals, of course, for side-by-side and NRX Next. So stay with us. Plenty more exciting racing to come from ERX Motor Park.
All right, so again, getting set here for our next semi-final. Fraz, we'll let you chill, bro. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll let you relax and hopefully get that car back together, and hopefully we'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah, man, I need to go jump underneath the car and help out the guys. It's going to be a tough job.
You're going to get wrenching? You're going to go and have a go?
I mean, I might as well. I'm the one who did it, so.
Mate.
See if I can undo it.
We hope we can see you tomorrow, mate.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, man.
Fraser McConnell, thank you. Again, Fraser McConnell, hopefully we'll get to see him after a spectacular crash, but glad he's okay. He's still got a smile on his face, a signature smile. So
yeah, that is the most important thing. Got to wait for hear from Andreas Backer as well. We know that he's gone off and had an X-ray just to check up. He was feeling a little bit sore, so hopefully we can have a message from Andreas at some point. And of course, as soon as we know, we'll let you know.
All right, another driver join us up here. Get on over here, kiddo. We've had a lot of words with them. I love the humility. They're actually talking.
We'll keep it a secret. We'll get him in. He can come in a minute.
Katie's had quite a few words with him, but his stance, his humility, and all these things going on. He's talking with Fraser McConnell, but Jensen Button, the number 22, is up here, and this is less than ideal where you want to be. Pastrana joined us quite a bit in Sweden, so come on over here, Mr. Button. The humility that you harness and have, like you said, having fun. By the way, you box with your wife. That was you're like, between boxing with my wife and stuff like that.
First of all, I don't know if you know. I'm not a racing driver anymore. I'm actually a commentator. So this is where I'm at my best. Do you want to jump in the car?
I'm down. I don't know if I'd fit. You got to grease me up first.
Trust me, you wouldn't be up for it, especially in these conditions.
You've been so looking forward to this for so long. We're just seeing a few replays of jumps, basically. So here's Conor Martell up over the big jump at the back, going to spin into the right. And we've come in. This is a shot of Carlson coming up around the outside line. He came up against Martell. Brilliant racing between those two. Super tricky conditions for them. But yeah, looking forward to a bit more of that. Coming up to the final stages now of qualifying. We've been joined in the commentary box by the man, the legend, the 2009 Formula 1 world champion, who we're not quite sure if he's loving Rallycross or not. It's Jensen Button.
Hello.
So we really poked fun at Travis Pastrana in Sweden. He hung out with us all day.
Weekend. Can I just choose to do that, even though I'm here tomorrow?
We talk about your humility and you getting to learn the car. What do you make of this track, though?
Everything's just a blur for me right now. The car itself, I've driven it. I drove it at Goodwood Festival of Speed. So for people that don't know, it's on tarmac.
Yeah.
Which is a lot of fun. And I drove the car in France, Bordeaux, where mostly tarmac. There was a little bit of loose, and you had to be smooth on the loose because it was so loose. Here, you're supposed to go backwards into the corners, and I can't get it through my head. I don't understand, and as you can see out there, so there's a lot to learn, and it's not been fun, I have to say, because as a driver, you never want to be uncompetitive, and I've never been 3 seconds off anyone in my life driving anything.
But it's part of the process, isn't it? And I know you came here to challenge yourself and also to have some fun. It might not be the most fun you've ever had today, but what are you thinking about the challenge ahead?
Qualifying was good fun. I wasn't on the pace, but I was 1.5 seconds off of Robin, who's driven a rallycross car here or there. So
just a bit.
It wasn't too bad, and I was in second gear, and they were running third, so there was more speed to come. Just was in the wrong gear for the grip level. It wasn't too bad. But then when it rained, I'm totally lost.
Well, Coley was talking you up, but right now let's talk about these guys. We got that of Ollie Eriksson and Robin Larson. Again, our current points leader, Victor at Lytton Hill. Can he take down Ollie Eriksson, or is it going to be a brotherly fight in the final? So Ollie Eriksson, Robin Larson, one of them will be going against Kevin Eriksson. This is our battle semifinal 2. This is all building up for tomorrow. Green means go. Let's see what kind of start we get from Eriksson and Larson. And there they go, making some steam off the jump. Again, Eriksson taking that inside line, Coley.
Less wheel spin for me off the line there, Jared. Previous CR hooks a wheel on the inside line. Eriksson goes wide. Larson, though, can't capitalize on it. Tried to go avoid Eriksson. He thought Eriksson's gone huge on the jump now, coming down for the braking zone. Larson goes up high, going to look for the low exit, but Eriksson's nailed it onto the inside line. Eriksson was the TQ man in Sweden last time out. How he got away with that turn 1 incident, I'm not quite sure, but he's leading at the minute.
I thought it was going to be a roadblock, and Robin Larson was going to T-bone him. Oh, man!
Another moment over the jump, now runs deep. Larson looking to the inside line. Eriksson's using up all his lives.
Wow, oh my gosh, yeah. You said, what is he, a cat? He's landing on his feet, though.
He's getting away with murder, certainly. Into the right-hander now. The Joker's off to the right. Remember, they're not taking it in the battle, so 3 laps. Larson's got to find a way past him on track. Jensen, this is your kind of bag. Trying to pass, he makes another mistake.
He's got a
Jensen Button has beaten us both at commentary. The second he's come up here, basically, Ericsson's pushed a tyre off the rim. Larson goes into the lead, denied.
There it is. So he ran out of lives. Like you said, he used them all up, but that was the 10th life. And unfortunately, that back left comes off and DB'd. So Robin Larson off to the races. So unfortunately, it won't be a brotherly battle between Ericsson bros, but it'll be Larson who, again, got that TQ.
Jensen, we've been looking at these settings here. This is what Travis did last time he was up here. 10-10-4. He was making notes on that. So write that down and we'll head back down to the team later and see what it does. Do you know what you were running?
Normally 8, and then I was running 6 because I was like, I don't need the torque, but I did need the torque. I felt like I was going quick, and Robin was just disappearing into the distance. So that's good to know. But with Oliver, that was over the jump. You put a lot of angle into the car and you land on the tyre. I mean, it's going to come off the rim. Any tyre would. So it's a shame because that was a good fight.
How was the process for you with the jumps? I know when I spoke to you the other day when you turned up, you were going to walk the track, and it was like, wow, the jumps are huge. And then you got into the corners. But what was the jump process like?
It was horrible initially because I had no idea. And the team are like, well, he's racing in Rallycross. He must know how to jump a car. I've never jumped a car in my life. So if I'm in the air, I'm doing something wrong. But no, it was a shock. And I didn't know you had to be on power when you actually hit the jump. So I was nose diving and hit the front of the car. Eventually, though, the jumps are the easy part. I'm loving the jumps out there. And I'm actually getting some good, clean, calm air. And the car's nice through the air. And the landings are lovely. But it's the corners, which are the bit I thought I'd be good at, that I'm struggling with, especially in these conditions.
And ironically, we were talking about, I don't know if you heard us, but Larson last year was frightened of this place. He was super scared. He'd never jumped a car. So him coming here was like, what is this? How? So he had to kind of unlearn some things and just the big jumps in the gap. So, I mean, look at him now. Obviously,
Ericsson continues to circulate. He's 16.2 back, Jared. He might as well go around just in case Larson had an issue. If you can continue, he's not putting any strain on the car, just cruising around. He might as well. But as you see, Larson has cruised around himself and gone through to the final. So it's going to be Larson versus Kevin Ericsson.
That should be a good one. And again, welcoming Kevin back into the fold. Again, his debut here, missed those first 2 rounds in Europe. But Robin Larson, a lot of momentum coming over from Europe and now here on U.S. soil.
Very much looking like favourite at the minute, isn't he? Go on, Jensen.
Well, I think he's just proven how quick he was, and that's why he beat me.
Yeah, exactly, mate.
Just because he's so much quicker than everyone else. But no, he's a mega. When you watch him through the corners here, the speed he's carrying in, because I can rotate the cars, but what he's able to do so early on in rotating the cars is fantastic. And fair play to all these guys. They're the best in the world, and you really see that coming from circuit racing. And lovely start from them both.
It was almost over for Larson. He was almost going to T-bone him. And I don't know how Ericsson maintained that lead.
It was actually nice for Robin to go round him. He could have just tapped him in the back.
He'd had him off, wouldn't he? Just driven through him and said, well, he hit the wall. And I think Ollie got lucky where he glanced off the wall. It pushed the nose out wide and he actually got away with it.
And there it is, the D-beating. There's the D-beating.
He actually had D-beated before the big jump. So he went over the big jump with a flat.
Right,
at full speed.
Yeah. Ken Block did the gap jump in Utah one year. Did you see that? Yeah. I love the fact you've watched so much of this. So you'll be ready. You'll be ready for Glenn.
Just so you know, fans, watching it doesn't make you an expert in driving it.
What? Really?
I know.
Oh, no.
Tell me about it. I thought I was an expert, but, and I can drive a few things, but this is a big learning curve. These guys are amazing. I've been watching them all weekend. There's a few of my friends in this. Terry Madden's in this. It was my co-drive. I did a bit of off-roading in Baja.
I spoke to Terry about this, and he said you called him up a couple of times. He's like, I'm too busy, and then in the end he's like, okay, we'll come and do it. And he said it was wild at first.
Well, we had some fun, and we were actually doing all right in Baja in the spec trophy truck class, and then we broke a diff, and we spent 17 hours cuddling up under the stars.
They showed the picture of you guys with a fire in Mexico, wasn't it?
Because nobody could get to us for 17 hours, and they hellied us out of there in the end. So I know Terry very well.
I love it. All right, so you're talking about Terry Madden. This is our side-by-side final. We got 30 seconds to start, so this is the most side-by-sides we'll see on track. And again, unfortunately, Robin's shoot went end over end over end, and he is not there. But the ones to watch, Brian Deegan. He always wants to be Pastrana. I asked him earlier, who do you want to be? He's like, Yeah, duh. Pastrana. He's got more wheel time than anybody out here. But, I mean, you're seeing Robbie Madison, a talent. Leticia Bufoni, this is her first time racing, actually anything. So it's cool for her to kind of come out here and get after it.
I know how she feels. But, it's a small grid, right? But everyone's amazing at this.
Here we go.
Very different backgrounds.
All right, so on that front row, you got Deegan and Pastrana. You see Madison, and then we got the Canadian bringing up in third and fourth. Going wide is Travis, right?
Yes, Pastrana got a little bit of contact in turn one, and there's almost contact again off the jump. Is that Madison?
That's Madison.
Going to P2. It's a great move. You've got Meyer now coming in from the outside line. But it is with the whole shot, Deegan away. So he had that great fight here last time with Tanner Fouts. Madison, look, he blew up this morning, Jared. He was at the back of the grid. Here he is now in P2, but with 4 cars inside him.
Yeah, Robbie Madison, Leticia bringing up the rear there, and we're seeing again the Canadian pilot. We're seeing Michaud sitting in third.
Yeah, Travis got pushed wide at turn 2. He almost did the same thing as he did in the Group E, almost put it in the wall.
Yeah, he went in the wall there last year. In fact, hurt his shoulder when he was driving with Subaru. Into the joke goes Michaud on the first lap, followed in by Meyer, and Buffoni's gone in as well. So those 3 choosing to joker on the first lap. Final, remember, is 6 laps long, so 6 laps in these conditions. Jensen, the conditions have changed a lot today. How challenging is that as any of these drivers? I know you're learning rallycross, but even for the top guys, it's not easy.
It's not easy, but they're kind of used to it. It does happen a lot in rallycross, and obviously the wet in the track changes. The track is changing all the time. For me, it's a big issue. The track I was getting confident with yesterday and in qualifying, and then suddenly it's wet. It's a completely different track, and the cars, the UTVs, react in such a different way. At least these guys are on knobblies.
Yes, the tyre's completely different. The slick is hard work, isn't it? We're using the rain tyre, aren't we, in the wet here, but it is still pretty hard work. Deegan's got a 1.5 second lead. Pastrana a further 1.5 back. Madden just 0.3 off. Michaud is the one to watch because he was right up there. He's only 5.8 back. Earlier on today, the delta was about 6, and he's now 5.7. So inside line in the green side by side is Michaud is the one to watch for, trying to hunt down these ones out front.
Interesting approach. Pastrana takes the joker lap at the halfway point, essentially. So that's an interesting approach for Pastrana. He does lose position. He goes all the way back as Michaud gets fastest lap and gets that number 4 position. So Deegan with all the clean air right now, that's a great position for him.
Let's drop Travis out behind Michaud. I wonder if they were trying to respond to Michaud's pace and joker and cover him off, but they haven't managed it. So Michaud is in the box seat here, but it does depend whether or not Deegan can keep up enough pace to stop him closing that gap down. I think he probably can, but I've had to eat my words once already today.
Jensen, you're a busy man. You're driving Radfords. You're hanging out and doing a bunch of things. What else are you doing kind of right now?
Well, I'm going to be doing a lot more off-roading to get my eye in. As a racing driver, you're competitive at everything you do. So yeah, I want to get good at this, and it's going to take a bit of time. So we're doing a lot of testing. Glen Helen's close to home. I drove a UTV there before, which went really well. Should have raced in this, to be fair. No, I'm working with obviously the team, Exo Energy Racing, and they're a fantastic group of people. A lot of experience in the team as well. So I want to get good and competitive, so I will. But no, traveling the world, doing lots of different things with work in terms of TV stuff. Got my own whiskey, which is great.
We're going to have an American version. So do you think?
Coach built whiskey, which is a Scotch. But yeah, we're going to do a bourbon. I don't know how you say it in the States. Bourbon.
There you go.
We would say bourbon. But so we're going to have one of them. So very exciting. Awesome. But no, racing is still the bit that I obviously love the most, and building cars.
Yep. And being a dad.
Obviously, that's the best thing. But I mean, work-wise.
Travis came to rip you yesterday because he thought you were taking a selfie and you were FaceTiming your lovely son.
I was.
So Travis, I'm sorry.
My 3-year-old Hendrix, he loves cars, so every time I FaceTime him when I'm at a track, he doesn't want to see me. He's like, race cars, Daddy. So okay,
brilliant. Yeah, that's brilliant. Awesome. All right, so back to the race. Terry Madden moves up to third. He gets that joker lap, and he's got a lot of eyeballs on him. Black Rifle, they supported him, so he is out there. But look at that, he jumps down 4th, 5th, and there he goes down to 6th. Oh my God, did he pause? What happened?
No, I think he's gone in 3rd, Jared, and come out. I think he's come back out. So I think the joker's flashed up, and he went by the time he came through the exit, he was gone. Travis is only 0.8 behind Michaud, so there's a great battle going on at the minute for P3 and P4. They're around 7. I think Deegan's got enough. I don't think Madison does. Madison's definitely going to drop to P4, so it should see Pastrana on the podium, but Deegan's done well here, hasn't he? He's just managed to gap them all just that little bit.
Gosh, Deegan is just the way
weapon.
Yeah, an absolute weapon, and he's finding just the fastest line. And I mean, he's zip tied that gas pedal down, man. He is full throttle through the whole course. Here comes Matto, and look at that fight for third.
Pastrana trying to get his way through for P2. Madison goes off to the Joker lap now. Pastrana trying to line up Michaud in front. He's got one more lap to go. This is the fight we want to be seeing. 0.3 of a second between them. Full-on visual gap for them, though. They won't be needing anything from the spotters now. It's all or nothing to try and nick P2. Deegan's 8.3 seconds up the road.
Pastrana definitely wants to get the pass of the Canadian driver, and you can see him chomping at the bit, trying to find that space where he can slide in. Where do you think he's going to try to get him?
Well, this is when it gets serious, because he's going to start taking more and more risks around here. Oh, lovely through the apex, but he's going to lose a little on the exit. But where's he going to get him? I don't know. With Travis, it could be anywhere.
I love the different, as you say, the alternate routes there, and they're both going to take that lower line, which seems to be the faster right now. Oh, it looks like Travis. You saw he tried to throw it out there, but it straightened out on him.
Yeah, he lost a little bit of speed there. Nice over the jump, but yeah, it's going to be a tricky one now. He's going to have to throw it into the last corner.
Deegan's in the Joker lap now. He had an 8-second gap as he went in. What's it going to be when it comes out? It was 7.9. He's in the lead.
No problem. Brian Deegan's going to get the checkered flag and get the victory here on Saturday. Side-by-side finals. Brian Deegan, a proud dad, a proud racer, and he talked about, all their accolades, and he says the big thing is dinner on Monday, who puts the trophy on the table? Like that's the big bragging right between, his kids. You see him rough up his son. I keep bringing up that video. Did you see him take down Danger Boy? No, you got to watch, dude. It's so good. But now he's going to have some bragging rights at the dinner table on Monday. But again, it's a doubleheader weekend. They got a race today and tomorrow. But there is how it ended. We got the Canadian Michaud grabbing second, and number 199 grabs that third place podium finish. So you can see how they're rounded out. The 13-year-old Ben Mayer gets fourth. Terry Madden, Robbie Madison, and Leticia Bufoni. Congratulations to Brian Deegan.
Another final down, another job done. Oh, sorry, Jared, you're out of shot there, mate. You squeeze in with the
I'm a big dude.
Squeeze in.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. That's why I don't fit in these race cars. That's why I talk about it.
We raced together yesterday, didn't we?
We did, and I actually brought up how dirty you were.
Yeah,
you took me out 3 times in the same spot.
But so did Fraz. We raced RC cars. Unfortunately, I mean, you raced go-karts last night as well. He got a proper go. But he kicked our butts at RC cars.
He's good at everything except Rallycross.
It was tarmac though, wasn't it, mate?
It was tarmac.
It was tarmac.
Put them on dirt. I would have been the one spinning out.
All right, let's take a look at how it began there. And Deegan was just dominant from the start. Pastrana got chopped up. Madison had a go at it, but it was all Deegan, man. It was all Deegan from start to finish. What do you got?
Why does Madison end up 6th?
I've no idea.
He did 2 jokers. Oh, is that because he jumped? Did he jump?
No, he didn't know. Jensen's looking at Jensen's having a good old stare at the timing screen, which, racing drivers notoriously good at reading all sorts of splits and things, the purple and green sectors and all the rest of it. But yeah, you've had a quick glance down. Madison ended up 6th. I mean, whole shot for Deegan, just didn't look back. Did he? No dirt in on his visor, out front. Just did the laps, took the Joker on the final lap, which is classic rallycross tactics, and good job by him. So he'll be aiming for a double tomorrow. Of course, it's a double header for side-by-sides, and Pastrana, I'm sure, we're trying to take one back from him. Good to see Travis last a bit longer than last year when he ended up in the wall in turn 1, so not ideal.
Yeah, Jensen, thank you so much for joining us. We'll let you go and take some notes, okay?
I've been trying. I've been watching everything, but you guys aren't helping. Helping my confidence, but anyway.
We'll look forward to seeing you out there tomorrow. So best of luck. Cheers, mate.
Again, Formula 1 champ, legend, Jensen Button in the building. So it's great. I think that's a great compliment to the sport. Yeah. Rallycross.
Great to have him here. Yeah. Great to have him here. Yeah. He will get a hang of it. He said, I'm going to go testing. I'm going to get fast. Believe it. Looking forward to seeing it.
All right, well, we get the track prepped. We saw our side-by-side final, but let's get an update down in the pits from Katie Osborne.
Yeah, standing by with Robin Larson, who earlier was feeling a little bit tentative, but he has a smile on his face right now. Scale of 1 to 10, what's the tentative level as compared to earlier?
Yeah, it's nice to get to the final spot here in the battle brackets. Now it's pole position for tomorrow anyway, if I get P1 or P2, but of course I'm gonna go for the win here and get that glove. So yeah, it's a nice feeling, but it's been some struggles in the battle brackets. Oliver had a puncture now and some issue in the first corner. So hopefully we'll go like really toe-to-toe now in the final with Kevin. So really glad that also Kevin is here after his accident. So yeah, it's been a lot of accident in the past now, so hopefully we can give the fans a good show in the final.
As it relates to give you a good show, what is it that Kevin brings to the table as a competitor? Because we know what you can do.
Yeah, I know we raced against each other in the Europe, and we known each other pretty long, so it's nice to see him back, and we have similar driving styles. We want to come to these kind of tracks and really push ourselves in the car and everything. So I really hope we can do it this weekend, and especially now in the final. So it's fun that we are those two guys in the final. So we just, I don't know where the Americans went. So
who knows? Who knows? Best of luck out there. Thank you.
Nitro Rallycross is brought to you by Yokohama Tire. Make every drive a performance. My Energy, driving the charge to a sustainable future. And by A-Shock Energy, a modern performance energy drink created for today's active generation. Well, this is where the racers don't ideally want to be, but he is with us, and we're thankful.
Yeah,
Andreas Backerud, everybody.
I'm happy to be here as well. I mean, like, second best thing other than race cars, so yeah, that's all right.
Mate.
I just wanted to say to all the fans, I feel fine, bruised, very bruised up here, swollen.
We said they'd let them know as soon as we found out you're okay. We weren't expecting you to come directly to the announcing booth. But
I heard you said something about me while I entered here, so I just want to say cars are very safe. OMSC, QAV, all the guys have done a great job making good, strong cars and seat and seat belt. So just stoked to be back here talking with you guys. Hopefully we can come back tomorrow, maybe.
Fraz said he was going to try to get his car back together.
Yeah, I think we're going to do rock, paper, scissors.
See if you can make one car out of the two. Andreas, take a look at this and talk us through it. This is you over the crest.
Oh, man. I haven't seen this. So I didn't even see the rut. Obviously, I had a bigger impact than Fraser there.
Oh. Yeah, that's the biggie, isn't it?
Took my roll cage, flipped me around, landed on the barrier. I closed my eyes. I don't really remember anything else than the windscreen flying off and me getting all the dirt into my helmet. And then I could hear Fraser coming. So I'm just closing my eyes again, and I could hear him. And then in the next moment, he's in the ditch in the water, and I tried to get out, but my seat belt got stuck. So I want to go out and ask if he was okay, but I was also done and dusted, you know.
Well, we're glad you're okay, and DRRJC put out a statement that said, hey, you know, we took him to the hospital, he's good, but like you said, a testimonial to solidly built cars. I think that's what's great.
And also to the team, they stuck up to me there, brought us to the hospital, gave us an extra check. I appreciate that with everyone, especially in DRRJC, done a great job there. So
we can see you touching your shoulder. We know you're a bit sore. Talk us to, obviously we know the car is a mess and there's a lot of work, or maybe we've got to come up with a solution to get you back out, but how are you physically?
Well, they told me to ice it up every 20 minutes, so that's 20 minutes
that's
off.
These things.
That's these
you got
things.
One in there, I can see.
Then I got some medicine and try to keep down the swollenness. Hopefully we can make something like Per Solberg had after
I remember
Riga.
the carbon fiber thing when he broke his collarbone.
I know Michael Jernberg is up here, and he's great at like making sculptures.
Like make something overnight,
probably in steel, but that can still work.
He means it, but like Iron Man.
I mean, I bought the guy dinner 2 days ago, so he owes you.
He owes you. You weren't expecting to know you quite this big, but wow.
That's funny. All right, so stick around, Andreas.
Who's in the lead?
Well, this is NRX Next. This is it. So the next.
This the
Olofsson, it's Olofsson and McGinnis on the front row. No, we're in the final. So 7 cars through
finals,
to the final.
baby.
Here you go.
Yeah, here we go. So on that front row, you got George McGinnis, Simon Olofsson. Then you got Tommy Hallman. And then sitting next to him, you got Michaela Allen-Kotlinski. Kasper Jansson in a less likely position than he normally is, laying Michaela, and then bring up the rear, Eric Gordon. So we have this race, and then we have our finals. Kevin Eriksson versus Robin Larson in our battle bracket grids. All right, so Andreas, we'll see. What do you make of the track?
I mean, it looks kind of greasy right now, especially the start line, so it's going to be hard to take off. Also, it's slightly uphill, so you don't want to spin too much, but at the same time, you gotta get that clutch right.
Yeah. Just get that launch. It's really hard to get grip. I can't remember. Were you here? Did you race here last year? Is this your first time?
Yeah, I raced here last year. It's a sick track. Probably my favorite. Maybe not after today. But
not quite so favorite anymore.
Oh man.
Yeah, the guys are doing a great job out there. I mean, let's do a selfie here.
There we go. Great, mate. Great to have you back. Great to have Fraz back. We said this morning, whilst we all love the sport and we want to go racing and we want to see you back tomorrow, like we're most keen that you guys are okay. So
yeah. That's the main thing. I mean, the mechanics, the first thing they said, you can always fix a car, but you can't fix a new back road.
Yeah, wow. We definitely can't.
And then they fed him full of snacks immediately.
Yeah.
That was the next thing.
The
are you okay? And they threw a donut in his mouth. He's like, I'm back. That's how they revived him.
The doctor said, you have a little high heart rate. Don't you worry, it's just me chugging down Monster.
Probably before it's a good job they didn't check your cholesterol or your blood sugar. Like, wow, what does this guy eat? Like nothing but snacks. I saw you had it, Denny's. That was a plate full of cheese, man.
Big.
All right, here we go. Our NRX Next final is set, and here we go. Who is going to get the jump? Who's going to get that hole shot? George McGinnis? Olafson? Green beans go. Send it, kids. Here we go. McGinnis on that inside line. Definitely an aggressive driver. Let's see if he can hold back. Olafson. Oh, he swings wide and gets into the side. Up Olafson.
Arlen Collins got bundled wide there, Jared. I thought she got a good start. Casper Janssen was squeezed inside, managed to get through. It's Janssen in P3 now, as you see up into the top corner. McGinnis on the inside, going around the outside. Championship leader Tommy Howman. Olafson splits right and goes with Howman. Left-hand side is McGinnis, and then it's Olafson down in P2. Casper Janssen up already.
Really interesting line there by McGinnis on that first turn. Just kind of crawled around. Didn't throw attitude at the car. Didn't get the car to rotate, but still held on to his position.
McGinnis was so good in that last race. Remember the lap times he put in and managed to get the overlap. Comes in skirts with that bank on the inside line. Olafson goes joker early. Casper Janssen now is up in that train. So we've got some really quick drivers. Olafson needs to make sure he doesn't get stuck in traffic by going joker just this early. In the background, he's saying Olafson's actually been in the wall in the joker. That's not a tidy joker.
No, that's true. And the joker exit is so important to have a straight car through the whole chicane. It's kind of tight. Just want to give it to Hallman. That turn 2 was epic.
Really good. Up at the hairpin.
Yeah, up at the hairpin. Straightening it out.
This is such a hard
straight
corner,
car.
isn't it?
Yeah, straight car early. Bang on the gas pedal earliest than everyone. So great run off. He's doing well.
Howman really impressive. I'd love to see him take that step up. We know for young drivers a lot of the time it's about budget, but Howman is so impressive. He really is. But what he mustn't do is get a very similar livery to George McGinnis, which is what he's
it's
done.
It's very hard.
Dude,
here, I can see the difference.
Well, you spent the whole day with me, didn't you, in Sweden, discovering how hard it is to talk about 80 identical cross cars. So, it can be tricky. Look at this. Casper Janssen getting onto the back now of McGinnis. So, Howman's edged out a 1 second lead, but for me, Janssen's way closer than 9/10. He's on the back bumper.
Yeah, well done there from Hallman. But look at, going and charging. Look at Janssen going for it. But McGinnis, we were talking earlier with Connor Martell, talking about getting wide, throwing out those elbows. And McGinnis is known as an aggressive driver, but he is definitely getting big and getting wide.
I'm keeping an eye on Olafson's times. Olafson is 8.4 seconds back in P5, but he's the one quick driver that's gone joker already. He's in clean air, but he's got a couple of seconds to make up here. And for me, Howman is absolutely pushing on the limit. Like 1.1 second, fastest lap just last time round. So
Janssen had a little mistake there in turn 2. Didn't get the run out from the corner, and all of a sudden he have over a second up to McGinnis. So it's very crucial to not do mistakes here. He's still choosing not to go to the joker, trying to close up that gap so that he can joker whenever he's close to McGinnis.
He was closer, wasn't he, previous time round, as you said, the mistake in turn 2. What's so tricky about turn 2? We're going to come up to it in a minute. Took us through this bit of the lap, but particularly turn 2, Andrew.
This is where I roll.
He's very familiar with that.
This bit didn't go quite right.
Normally you flick it in there, you try to get the correct angle. You don't want to end up in a flop up the hill over the jump. Down here you need to find like that middle edge line, rotate early, try to straighten up the car. McGinnis got it better than Hallman this time around, but normally Hallman has been mega there. We see Janssen is now going inside probably. Maybe it's catching up, I don't know.
It's the consistency up there that seems to be difficult. Like so many drivers said, I'll get it right, but not every time.
The thing is, the
Not an
dirt
easy
is
corner.
changing every lap,
Yeah.
so the grip level changes, and that's super tricky and hard.
And it's nice seeing it dry out. Seems like, you know, we're going to, hopefully, if the rain holds off, if the gray clouds are kind of looming, but if it holds off, we'll start to see a blue groove. So we'll see grip, we'll see the attitude of the vehicles, you know, rotating, getting out of the hole a little bit faster. So Adlin Kotlinski, Michaela takes that joker lap, but does not gain a position. Janssen, McGinnis, Hallman, that's 3-2-1 there.
See where Adlin Kotlinski's given up a position to Olofsson, so Olofsson's up into P4, but 10 seconds back. I tell you what, he's kind of within shouting distance of Casper Janssen. What the delta seems to be about 6 seconds, Andreas. Is
6 seconds.
It is 6 roughly. What you're thinking, or not? Same in the FC1.
I mean, it's going to be tight. I would be interesting to see that merge.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, when Janssen goes joker, we want to see where he comes out. Let's see if it's lap 5 or 6 now. Leader doesn't go in, so Hallman doesn't go. McGinnis does. George McGinnis goes in. Casper Janssen doesn't. So McGinnis was 2.1. I reckon he's got enough time on Olofsson. It's when Janssen goes. So when Casper Janssen goes, it'll be tricky. That should on to the last lap.
Yeah.
McGinnis takes that joker lap, but Hallman and Janssen, they're saving it. So McGinnis does lose a position to Janssen.
Oh, we have a puncture.
Oh no!
Hallman.
Our leader Hallman, he's got a back left puncture.
Can he hold on?
Oh, can he hold on to it?
It's left rear, which is the best one to have.
So the worst.
He's going to struggle here the next two turns. Let's see. I think this is going to Janssen. No, McGinnis.
Yeah, you think so? Okay, right. So Hallman leads by 3 seconds, but he has a rear puncture. He's on the final lap. He's got to go joker this time. Up and over the crest. Watch him go in now. Squirrely over. As he goes in, watch for the rim digging in through the right hand here.
Here we go. This is where it's going to come down to it. Again, Hallman leads. Janssen is gaining some ground. Where's McGinnis? 7.3 seconds, my friend. He lost a lot of time.
I don't think he's close enough, Jared. Hallman's going to try so hard here. McGinnis on the inside line. Hallman's got to shut the door and hold it tight. Can he keep it behind or not for this finish? Can I try and take it? Hallman holds on with a rear right puncture. What a great drive.
Wow, look at that. So Hallman and McGinnis gains a position. Oh, did McGinnis get it or Janssen get that second spot? McGinnis
on the
gains a position on the line. So Hallman with the punctured left tire gets the win. Hallman gets... Or no, what? What's going on here? Wait a minute.
Right, hold on.
No, there's no way.
Timing screen showed us something different.
Hallman got the win. That's what it is. But I believe things got a little screwy right there, and I believe McGinnis got second, and then Janssen gets third.
Wow, that's Andreas. I mean, I've seen you do it in the Focus that 1 year in Germany.
But that was a steering arm. Now it's a puncture. But I think McGinnis must have done some mistakes on his lap. So I don't know. It was kind of a tight one.
There it is.
Yeah.
Absolutely hyped right now.
It's his first time outside of Europe. It's his first time in America. His first time racing over here, and the crowd showing us some love for winning on 3 wheels. Yeah, man, that's a great effort by Hallman. Keep an eye on him. He's one to watch.
There you go. Tommy Hallman gets the victory. George McGinnis in second, and Casper Janssen in third. Congratulations. As you can see, the rest of the pack, that's how they land. Olofsson, Michaela, and Eric Gordon.
Like Frass would have said, Tommy, big up.
Yeah, that's a great drive. It's a great drive. Olofsson nearly got back to the group, didn't he, at 1.2 off. It was closer than we thought it might be. We thought he'd be in the mix, but yeah, I'm impressed.
All right, so congratulations again to those drivers. Next up, as we take a look back at NRX Next, we will be seeing our finals. Again, Robin Larson versus Kevin Eriksson. Andreas, your DRR, JC, RX Cartel teammate.
Yep. Oh, look at that jump.
It's great, isn't it? That was absolutely mint. Really, really close between them. So, NRX Next done. Getting ourselves ready for the finale of the day. That's our little commentary tower up there. The announcing booth is in the big white tent on top of the scaffolding, if you're wondering. It's a bit breezy up here, and actually it moves about like a boat. So
it does.
Yeah, you can feel it moving. Yeah, I know, dude. It was really going earlier on. We had some donuts up here earlier, and I'm afraid you missed them.
Yeah.
We got some.
Did you rate it?
There we are. That's the back.
That's James.
We're
James
here.
over there.
We're here. That's us waving. There we are. Kind of over here. Look, that's where we are. Jared, here, you're on the right.
Okay.
Just there you are.
Okay, got it.
Put your face against the window.
Can't miss my big head. Oh, there we go. No, is that? I don't know.
No,
it's over there. It's the other
there.
side.
Yeah.
It's the other side, my friend. All right, so the steamroller going down. So, Andreas, what else are you doing, man? You're busy. You're a busy dude. Are you going to stay over here in the States for all the races?
I'm actually going back on Monday, but then I come back to LA, do the race there, as long as I have a car. And then my plan is to stay until Phoenix. We want to go to a NASCAR race I've never been to. So there's NASCAR the weekend in between Phoenix and LA.
Yeah.
So in Phoenix.
Oh, that's right.
So that fits. So yeah, I'm pumped. I want to do the whole tailgate, and I want to go to American football. I've been practicing here in the paddock, throwing the ball. You know, the good thing was I'm bruised on my left arm.
But your right arm, you're right-handed.
My right-handed is good. So yeah,
that's awesome. That's awesome. All right, again, Andreas Backerud, thanks for joining us. We'll let you go. We'll let you chill. Let you relax, man. Thank you so much.
So
glad you're okay, brother. Go get some snacks. Andreas Backerud. Hopefully we'll see him tomorrow. He says you never know, but thanks for joining us up here, Andreas Backerud. Again, DRR, JC, Monster Energy, RX Cartel.
So we had the pleasure, obviously, of having Jensen Button up here in the commentary box. Katie Osborne was chatting with Jensen Button earlier on. We're not sure whether Tommy knows what a Jensen Button is.
Straight by Tommy down here in the fanfare area, taking it all in. I'm trying to get as much knowledge of the lay of the land that I possibly can. And the one thing that everybody keeps talking about, there's some button somewhere. There's a Jensen's button somewhere. I don't know where this equipment is, what it looks like, what it even does. I'm going to continue to find my search and my quest for this button. Can you help me with some information? I'm looking for a Jensen's button. Everybody keeps talking about it. I don't know where it is. Do you happen to sell a Jensen's button? I don't see anything. I don't know where to find this Jensen's button. What is it? I keep hearing about this Jensen button somewhere. I don't know whether to push it. And I don't know what it looks like or where to find one. That's what I'm saying.
I don't know what that is either.
What's a Jensen's button? Button? Where's this button? Do you know where I can find a Jensen's button? What are you going to do if you find it? Push it. Hello? Have you ever heard of a Jensen's button?
No idea.
No, I know nothing about it. No, nothing. Not a thing.
Is that English?
Yeah, I say that.
What about you? Do you know what a Jensen's button is?
No.
This guy looks like a pretty knowledgeable guy. A Jensen's button?
I have not.
I have no idea.
What do you think it is?
A button.
I don't know, man.
Your guess is as good as mine.
Jensen's button.
Jensen's button.
Jensen.
Jensen.
I think, like a lot of Americans that watch motorsport probably have no idea either.
I've been gathering that. I've been asking a lot of people. I'm going to continue my quest. I appreciate it.
I'm not sure about Jensen's button, but I know Jensen Button.
So it's a person?
As far as I know, yes. I believe a world champion even.
That is the 2009 world champion F1 driver, Jensen Button.
Oh, it's a guy?
Yeah, it's a dude. They have a crush on him.
I feel really stupid right now.
He's around here somewhere.
A person? You're a scholar.
Thank you.
Button is a person.
I love it.
That was great. And we got to push the button.
That might be one of my favourite.
That was really good.
Along with Travis's speech to the nation, and you two, your acting skills are coming on amazingly, both you and Tommy. Wait, it's just so good.
Yeah, it was great.
So good. Jensen
totally.
too, man, for just taking it. You know?
No, totally. Well,
welcome.
He did kind of push back when he says, like most Americans, they don't really know who it is.
It's great though, isn't it? He knows. He knows. What a cool dude.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Well, again, we've seen side-by-side finals. We've seen NRX Next, and now we have the finals for our Group E. It should be exciting. Larson versus Ericsson.
Who's your money on?
Larson.
Is it?
Yeah, just because he's got a lot of confidence. He's been on this track before. So has Kevin, but Larson's got seat time this year. Kevin, he's got a lot of seat time with it. But I love Kevin, love all, like your children. I definitely have a favorite son. I'm joking. But my money's with Robin Larson.
Hate to Jared's sons, by the way.
What do you think? Do you think you're going Kevin?
What, Parker or T-Bone? Or are we talking Kevin or Rob?
No, I love both my children. Let's throw it down to Katie Osborne. Katie.
George McGinnis, what I love about race car drivers is I said, okay, we're going to do this interview, and he had to run and to grab his hat. So Dirtfish is getting a little extra love here. But George, hey, that was a crazy race, in fact, and it was a lot of excitement. But from your point of view in the car, what happened?
So we took the start well, and then Hallman had an epic move around the outside in 2. And then from there, it's just fighting Casper. Yeah. Sorry, I just ran here. Whew. And for the last 2 laps, I only had about 30% power because the car was overheating so heavily. So I definitely think, wow, I'm going to look really unfit on this, but I definitely think I could have had a better chance at Hallman because I came out really close to him if I had full power.
Okay, well, you got second here. George McGinnis out of breath as you're getting suited up. Guys, back to you.
Matto, Robbie Madison here. Great side-by-side race. What happened, dude? You were like up to third and you ended 6th?
I was in second and I cooked the engine, is a short story.
Oh, no. What, is that the second? What happened in practice this morning? We saw steam coming out of the header tank, but what was the score there?
Yeah, this morning I lost the radiator hose and then blew the head gasket, warped the head, and then it overheated in the final, so it's racing.
Okay, right, so same engine. They haven't switched engines.
Same engines. Looking to get a new one tomorrow, so that should be great.
You just told us a story about George McGinnis. Give us the short version just before we go racing.
I was down the hospitality, and he was stealing all the sweets from the candy jar. And I was like, what are you doing, man? And I was like, just don't look back, you won't look guilty. But obviously it worked for him, so maybe I need to take a page out of his book.
I love the fact. Don't look. This is a pro. Don't look back and you won't look guilty. Madison knows.
All right, here is our Group E final. So, Matto, don't go anywhere, man, as we are seeing Kevin Eriksson, Robin Larson. Who's your money on? Who do you think is going to get the win?
I'm going for Eriksson. He's got the inside. It's going to help him out in the first corner, but then, that may pay off for Larson, because he's going to be inside for the second turn, and that worked for me. I mean, Travis was got bumped out there, but it could be anyone's race, man. These two amazing drivers.
Dude, I mean, it was really great. You were in contention, bro. You were up in the mid. You came around the outside. Side-by-sides are epic, dude. It's so much fun. All right, 15 seconds to start. We see the 30-second card girl presented by Yokohama Tire. Again, Yokohama Tire, the official spec tire of Nitro Rallycross. You see him loading it there. We got 10-10-4, so he's fully tuned up. And I believe that is in the cockpit of Robin Larson. Let's see who gets the whole shot. Kevin Eriksson, like Matto said, he's got that inside line. Green means go, send it. And look, you can see it's drying out, so they're getting a good launch. Kevin Eriksson takes that whole shot. Hey, this is mine. Take my ball and I'm going home. Kevin Eriksson, nice job there. Robin Larson gets into formation. Let's see how they go. Like you said, getting that nice inside line on turn 2. Cole.
Larson got a better exit off the jump there. I thought he was going to edge Eriksson. Going to go deep and try and get the undercut on the exit, but Eriksson has absolutely held the inside line. Didn't run wide, runs the car to the outside line now. Brilliant driving.
Yeah, really well done there by Kevin Eriksson. He got wide, he threw out his elbows and put the block on Robin Larson. Now, Robin's going to try to find his time. Does he get the pass, on the jump, or is it going to be on the hit? Does he take the Joker lap early on?
Robbie, what's your thoughts? What do you do now if you're in Larson's shoes?
If you're in Larson, take the Joker. I would have.
No Jokers in the battles.
Oh,
so
right.
you've got to pass him on track. You've got to pass him on track. So you just got to keep making the guy look in his mirrors, haven't you?
Yeah, I mean, he tried to set him up for the inside there a couple of times, and I think he's just going to stay with that play, trying to get up the inside. But it looks like Eriksson's covering every time, so he's going to have to go for the outside at some point.
Larson really sending through that long left-hander at the last corner there. You could see him chucked it in, got close to the bank. Look at the roof going up over the front of Larson's screen. Goes big on the jump. The dirt flies off the roof now. Look how dirty his screen is. Trying to clean it up. Wants to see his target. Looks inside again, nearly into the back of Kevin. But again, Kevin holds on. Now Larson takes the alternate line.
Yeah, so this is where opportunity could strike here. Let's see how fast Larson is through there. And no, does not get him. This is 3 laps. All thriller, no filler, baby.
Great driving by Kevin, holding Larson off here. Remember, he's been out of the car for 2 months, broke his ankle. Since then, he's become a dad as well. Is this going to be a third celebration? Recovery, fatherhood. Now, is he going to take TQ? He was the test driver. We thought coming into this season he might have an advantage, and then disaster struck at Linden Hill. Larson, though, is all over the back of him. We've got another lap to go. Robin Larson trying to steal the TQ from Kevin.
What a great reintroduction for Kevin Eriksson to come back in. I talked about the confidence that Larson has, but right now this is a huge confidence booster for Kevin Eriksson. Again, he has more seat time than anybody. His family, his dad, they developed this car together, so it's great to see him back out here. Matt, what do you think?
Kevin Eriksson is turning on. I mean, this is great. It's
Robin.
I mean,
mistake.
Robin's driving all over him. He's like over him like a rash. I mean, he seems almost quicker, but he's just not able to get the job done. Hopefully he does.
All right, so here we go. Kevin Eriksson just holds him off, holds him at bay. Couple more turns. Larson chomping at the bit. They are both turned up to 10s.
He's going out wide, Larson, going to try and carry the speed through this right-hander with the Joker entry on the right. This corner isn't quite as wide as it was. It gives Kevin a nudge in the rear. He's letting him know he's there. Larson up the inside of Kevin, making the pass.
He's going for it. Look at Robin Larson gets the pass. Kevin Eriksson, we got contact, and Robin Larson with 2 turns to go. He gets aggressive, and he gets the win. Wow, Brilliant. That was sick.
Incredible
Brilliant.
driving.
That was really well done.
He's stoked. He's still on the power.
Yeah.
It's like he'd obviously had in his head, Jared, that he was going to have a crack at him. Maybe didn't want to show his hand until the final lap. Didn't want Kevin coming back at him.
Wow. That was really, really well done by, and I'm sure Kevin's going to have some words. Was that clean? Was that clean?
Well, look, I think it was because it was door to door. But I don't know. We'll have a look in a minute.
My opinion is Robin's racing.
Yeah, man, I think so too with this.
Because he didn't punt him. He didn't push his back corner.
Kevin pulls up alongside. They've both got to go into the holding area now. Let's see if I don't think any words are going to be said. It's not like he's fired him off into the wall.
No, like I said, he didn't punt him. He didn't push him. It wasn't a J turn. It wasn't malicious. It was just like racing.
He just came in hard and forced his
way through.
All right, so I think unofficially that Robin Larson will get that victory. And I mean, look, Kevin pulled over number 2. We've seen this in F1, where they pull over the number 1 spot. They have those placards. You see drivers. No, I got that win. So, Matto, man, you're a busy dude. Thank you so much, and hopefully,
this has been awesome. It's so exciting. Can't wait for tomorrow.
Yeah, dude. So hopefully, find an engine. We'll see you back out there.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
Cheers, boys.
Thank you so much. Appreciate you.
Good to see you.
Robbie Madison, absolute legend. If you don't know who he is, just look it up. He's insane. He's absolutely insane.
Well, I want to see some of these guys. The trouble is, all these amazing guest drivers we get, we want to see them in the FC1s as well, don't we?
I know.
I just want to see them get lined up for, I imagine them with 1,000 horsepower.
Oh, so cool. Yeah, well, that's the end of festivities today. Great day.
Amazing drive by Larson. So this is replays from the finals. A bit of wheel spin for both. You can see a bit of great start by Eriksson,
which is nice.
Yeah, the grip levels are definitely up, aren't they? I didn't think Larson was going to be up front. Look, Jared, 2 drones chasing the 2 drivers through. Is this the move on the last?
That.
That's the roost, isn't it? And actually, that took Larson's name sticker off the front. So some of the far end. Yes, he follows him, but he gets so close. And it was before this, so he gives him a nudge here. Now Kevin goes inside. Larson comes inside. No, for me, that's good. That he's 100% alongside him as the contact happens. For me, that move is good, Jared. What's your thoughts?
I think so as well. Again, he dropped into formation. He was kind of in the same line. He was parallel with him. He just forced his way past him.
We've got to have some racing. Remember last year when Franz got DQ'd for the move on Kevin?
Yes.
Kevin Hansen up at the hairpin. Everyone's like, oh, come on, it was door to door. Kind of like the stewards are, oh, maybe not. And then Nitro going, look, we want to see racing as well. And we said this year we wanted to try and make sure that this isn't, not that we allow anyone to do anything reckless or dumb, but that if people are going to race hard, if it's a good, sensible move, you got to go for it. And I think that's what it was. But I think we'll be able to find out from the drivers what their thoughts are on it now, whether anyone's unhappy or not with Katie.
Robin Larson, I think your happiness level has jumped up as we were talking about earlier. You were a bit tentative. No more. Here's your TQ sticker. Let's go ahead and put that guy in the car. There's been a lot of emotions, I think, through Robin's day today is working. There's also a second one going on to the other side. You see that there is 2. That is a top qualifier for Robin Larson. Next up, it's the trophy. Were we talking about this earlier? You want to take one of these guys home?
Yeah.
It is good looking, and in fact, that was well deserved from you today. A lot of effort. I was just saying some emotions that we're kind of feeling and reeling with today. How would you break down the day overall?
Pretty chaotic. I'm really glad for the team that we could pull this off today after what happened this morning. So I really hope they can solve all the problems and get some cars for the Frass and backwards so they can race tomorrow. So yeah, hopefully.
Let's take it down to that day, that final lap, when we saw maybe a time and a moment for you to capitalize. What did you see in the car?
Yeah, it's always easier to like be behind on this kind of track. I know Kevin probably didn't want to take any risk when you're in the lead. So, and yeah, it felt like I catched him where I overtook him, but the wipers still all going on all the time, so I couldn't pull that off, and I didn't see anything. So it was lucky I got that like that space, and yeah, don't know, it was a little bit hard, but yeah, it was nice. I think that was one of the good battles today after all the punctures and all the problems for the other guys. So it was nice to end with a high.
Ending on a high. Can you give us a little celebration? Last time I was with you, you didn't give me much for a celebration. What do we got?
That tomorrow.
Guys.
He says that's tomorrow.
Saving it.
Yeah, he's saving it. He knows, this is qualifying. You can't win the event unless you're on that box.
It's a really different kind of mature approach to things, isn't it? So yeah, fantastic job by him. We have it on pretty good authority as well that both of them chose Heat 2 if they won. So we're pretty confident Larson's going to go for Heat 2. Fastest lap of the day coming up is Larson, I believe.
Yeah, I mean, Robin Larson absolutely threw it down. So a great execution from all the drivers from the side-by-side to NRX Next and obviously to Group E. So, yeah, what have we got?
Yeah, so it's presented by Guaranteed Rate, that fastest lap. So great job by Larson for that. He's winning everything.
Yeah, he's absolutely collecting it all.
He is. Katie's obviously still looking for Kevin. We're like,
the show goes on. We're going to give out some trophies down in the pits. But again, tomorrow is game day. What are your expectations? I mean, hopefully the rain holds off.
I'd like to see dry conditions tomorrow, particularly for the likes of Jensen, just to get a little bit more comfortable with it. And I think the racing will be great. It'd be great either way, but I like the idea of dry conditions tomorrow.
All right. All right, throw it down to Katie. Katie.
Well, as Kevin was kind of climbing back over here, there was still a little bit of wiggle on your foot. How are you feeling to initially start?
Nah, it's okay. I can't blame anything on the foot. It hurts, but not in the car, so it's all good.
And as it relates to the car, there was a little bit of an incident there towards the end of that race. How would you summarize it?
I mean, I think they were holding me back a little bit too much from the spotters tower. I could have gone faster. But it's so tricky because to go faster you need to open the door, and I always heard it was in my back. But now I hear from other people that I had a gap sometimes where I should have just done my correct pace instead of just protecting the line. And towards the end, I can see him in my rear, and I just try to hold my line. Smart or whatever Robin is, he gives me a tap in the right one, which opens up the gap in the left. I probably would have done the same.
As Robin is racing, guys.
Of course, I'm angry that I lost position. Would have done the same, most likely. But of course, the stewards probably look at it, but I won't be up there and yell or anything. It's what it is. I wanted to win. It would have been nice with a comeback TQ. So I'm more angry that I didn't just let my pace go.
And that's kind of one of those things in the car where you're going to be in command maybe a little bit differently in the future?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, of course, it's my first time, in the new team. Well, not new team, but, every year is a new team in one way. So we just got to have a debrief. It was a good day. I mean, the pace felt good. It was a little bit this morning when the track was pretty rough. I didn't really trust to let off. But now it felt good, and I felt I had it somewhat under control, but I should have released the extra.
Release the beast by Kevin Eriksson. Congratulations, and also on the new birth of your daughter.
Thank you very much,
guys.
Thank you so much, Katie. Yeah, congratulations, Kevin. He says I had a little more in the tank.
No, like when he said that, I wish I'd gone for it. I understand. They're saying he's right there. Keep the door shut. And what Kevin's saying is that to go quicker, you got to take wider lines. Then you open the door. So I get what he's done. He said Robin was smart. I don't think that was a dig. I think he's just saying it was a really smart move. And it was. It was mint.
Give credit where credit is due, and we'll give credit to our A-Shock Big Air moment, baby. Airing it out here at NRX. Who is it? Well,
let's take a look and see. It is Martel.
Connor
Martel with
Martel
the wall.
And I believe that's Larson. And this is taking a look at the final here.
They've changed their minds. That was earlier on. They've changed their minds because it was a super big air from Robin. Fair enough. Good on the judges.
All right, so the A-Shock Energy Big Air moments. Again, Kevin Erickson and Robin Larson there. That was
Finally
awesome.
done. Must have outdone Martel. Martel had that one with 3 laps to go, and then Larson had to win that as well.
My energy best pass. I'll give you one guess. Let's go back to Robin Larson.
Okay,
and
it's just a massive loving for Robin Larson. It's fair though. It's fair.
That
Jared.
was beautiful.
Look at this. Look at this.
Madison was up here. He's like, oh man, hold my beer. Like, dude.
Yeah. And then you can look at him light the fuse. You can see the wheel spin as he's just nudged him a little bit wide. And then Kevin has wisely held off, hooks a wheel on the grass, hoping to get better traction. If that had been super slick like it was earlier, maybe to got him back on the exit. But yeah, it's a go. So basically, in short, Robin Larson wins everything. My energy, the
A-Shock, Big Air.
Some other stuff. Like it's all Robin.
But he's cool about it too.
Yeah,
he's real cool.
No celebration. That's for tomorrow when he wins everything else as well.
And you know what he'll do? He'll be like, yeah, me.
Yeah, he's super chill.
Robin is when you put a camera in front of him, he's really cool. Off camera, he's a nut.
Yeah, he's a good guy. He's a good guy.
Well, again, congratulations, Robin Larson. Yeah. Today was his day, but it does. Again, you can't win in qualifying. You can't win, in practice. You got to win when it's game day.
He's so close, Jared. The lap times are close. The battle brackets today, we saw one little error will cost you big time. He's not going to be up against one. He's going to be up against 7 other cars in the final tomorrow. Will we see Backwood and Fraser McConnell come back as well? Not going to be an easy ride for Larson. We're going to take a look at some of our best moments from the day.
Taking a look again, it's great to see as the drone getting that perspective. I think it clipped the wing. Oh, Pastrana airing it out. Unfortunately, Ollie Bennett. We saw rain early on, and it just got slick, and it was evident right there.
Look at the conditions, Jared. But again, you see what I mean about the colour of the whole place changing. Like it goes into a darker colour, and it's just super wet and slippery. The starts were tricky in those conditions. This was Martel versus Ericsson.
But man, Martel spun right out of the gate. But remember how he fought back. He was a minute behind, and then he got up to seconds.
And that's what I mean about tomorrow. Pastrana and for me, Pastrana and Martel looked like the cars were really under them, even in the tricky conditions. Now, they didn't win their races. That was Travis. Look, ran it down the rail, just didn't get away with that. But they look good. They look good. Both the Ericssons look good. Larson looks good. I'll be really interested to see whether or not they can sort a car for Backwood and Fraz tomorrow. Yeah, mate, it's been a great first day here at ERX.
Yeah, I love this track. I think it's really great. It's a great place to be in regards to kicking off our lower 48 American our stops here. So thank you so much for joining us, Coley. See you tomorrow, baby.
Yeah, man, looking forward to it. See you there.
Celebration out here. We saw some phenomenal racing here yesterday.